Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you once again for tuning into the HLTV Confirmed podcast. This is episode number 27, and before you give this a listen, I just want to give you a little bit of a warning that the audio in this podcast may be a little bit janky. We've done our best to clean it up to give you, hopefully, something listenable. Hope you enjoy it anyway. Was probably one of our more fun podcasts, having 6 people live. Thanks to Starladder, but tune in, hope you enjoy it, and hopefully you can hear all of the juicy Counter-Strike gossip. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the HLTV Confirmed podcast. I'm back again, and I'm alone, and we're in a really weird venue. But we got to hurry because we said our draft time on this ghetto podcast. So I'm going to introduce some people and try and make it funny. First of all, I'm going to introduce Pimp, Jacob Vinicky. He'll be one of our main guests. I've given him the Greyhound banner here because he's lost to Australian teams plenty of times in the past. Next of all, we're going to bring in one of our normal hosts. That's going to be Striker. I didn't know what to give him, so I gave him Hellraisers because he's from the same part of the world as Oscar, so I guess that makes sense. We'll bring in Prof. He's back again with us. He's got Tai Lu because his predictions were as bad as them this time round. Sean motherfucking Gares, his official title. He's actually going to be joining Complexity as the lead recruit for the new project, so DM him.
It's actually not true.
And not Mr. Jason Lake, and last but not least, I'm going to say his name wrong, but it is the coach from Mouse Sports. It's Regin?
Regin.
One more time for the viewers at home.
Regin.
Okay, so now we've got everyone here. This is going to be a little bit problematic because we're all here and we're all going to talk a lot. But you got 4s because you beat them, and I figure you went 3-0, so you probably deserve some positive credit.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, they actually played really good.
Okay.
They got like 14 entry packs against us, and we only got 8. We beat them 16-6. There's no should that be possible? So.
Okay, well, maybe they're not that good because they didn't qualify. But here's the last rule. Because there's so many of us, when we're all talking and someone needs to talk, you get the Furia card, okay? That means not only you get to talk and everyone else to shut the fuck up, it means you get to go to Brazil. So we're going to bring that in. But the draft is going to be starting in 4 minutes' time, and we haven't really got anything on the line here. Does anyone have anything they want to put up? Anyone got a bet? A friendly wager. Jacob, you're really good at dumb ideas.
Yeah. And you also said you were going to win. So, what do you want?
Oh, he wants this.
Yeah, because I can't talk if I don't have this, right? I say whoever wins gets a trip paid to Brazil by all the other guys.
That is ridiculous. Okay, Jacob's done with ideas. But basically, we're doing the draft on our phones. You guys can all join in. We're going to do the snake draft. So for those, Sean hasn't played it before. Have you played it before?
I think one time I tried.
Okay, Jacob, you played with us, but obviously we know what we're doing here by coming last in our own league. But basically, the crux of this is, for those who aren't aware, is we're going to pick one at a time. You get a random order, and we want to pick the best team we possibly can. And over there is Ents, and they're setting up. So we'll maybe give you some commentary what the teams are doing at the same time. We're going to do this draft, and then we're going to continue with the regular show. If you guys want to hang around, you can. If you want to fuck off, you can. There's no pressure. The viewers at home, they don't care. All right. Yeah, they hate us. So we can do whatever we want. Now, the draft is going to get underway in 3 minutes' time. Lucas, are you there?
So we all need our phones.
Yeah. Everyone to get their phones out. So far, let's do this. Has anyone been surprised with the results in the qualifier? Jacob, you've got this. I think you need to hand that off. Sean, I'm going to give this to you.
To me?
Yeah, you're going to start the conversation.
I mean, Dream Eaters.
That's it. That's all you got?
That's the biggest surprise.
Okay.
And I think we're going to be really surprised in this next stage, though. I mean, there's so many of these legendary rosters coming in that have shakeups coming. And who knows, like, the Foreign Renegades is in this actually.
Yeah, so apparently they've been boot camping for about 2 weeks or so.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Enough, right? Because they had 4 weeks during the Calvary.
Can I take this?
Yeah.
Apparently, Renegades, they are playing really well.
Okay.
Practice.
There we go.
What?
Okay.
We all know practice means nothing.
Surprise.
Complexity said they were playing really well in practice.
Their best boot camp ever.
Yeah. So apparently, were you guys playing well in practice?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it means
It doesn't mean anything.
everything.
Basically, it doesn't mean
But I
anything.
think they're gonna surprise.
Okay.
I have a question. How was Vitality playing in practice?
Shake.
Oh dear.
Oh.
I
So
just.
practice means
About
something.
phase.
Well, I guess you're going
at
too
all.
soon. Are you happy with the opening matchup?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think
Confident.
it'll win?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, you guys have won every matchup against them, haven't you?
Do you want to tell us-
Twice so far.
Can you tell us what map you're going to play?
But we are the Birdie gang, so hope for better.
That is
Bro, I'm a
true.
Verti Global as well. I loved what you guys
Birdie
did.
gang is
Very global.
It made me so
Birdie
happy.
gang.
Such a nerd.
It made me so happy. I was like, these guys
Yeah,
have it
lead
all.
right now.
The B retake, the aggressive smokes in the A ramp. I was loving it. It was all good. All right, we've got 1 minute 35 seconds till the draft starts. My phone wants me to put it horizontally. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, we
Same.
need to.
Super annoying.
I felt like we were going to be more of a rush.
You just press open draft.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
what you'll see on here is got countdown to draft, and then on the right-hand side, it's got the pick order. That pick order will get decided when the timer counts down, and we'll get stuck into it. I need to apologize to anybody listening on Spotify or over any of our podcasts at Anchor.fm because the audio quality will be a little bit shitty. We obviously don't all have personalized mics on here. We're just using a H6 in an open space with teams setting up for the major tomorrow. And a big thank you to Starladder for allowing us to use this and have a nice little background and internet and all that. Got that out of the way, so we're good.
Yeah, the only thing that people are complaining about is mouse sports coach being hard to hear. So just maybe speak up a bit and
Speak up a little bit.
it's going to be great.
Okay.
But just because you're kind of angled from the thing.
So wait, can they see? Like, what do they see?
They
So
see this and they see the draft as well.
Can they see our chat?
Yeah, they probably could.
Not at the moment.
Lucas could probably bring that up at some point. Oh,
Y'all-
Sean with y'all
y'all
suck.
suck.
All right. Aggressive to begin. Okay, so obviously the top picks here, we're going to be looking. He's going to have, like, if he picks all mouse sports players, that could be
Whatever.
possible.
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
I'm
They're
gonna
not
steal
going to be
this
like the
one.
first picks.
I'm gonna steal this one.
I don't think so.
No, I think Liquid and Astralis will be the first picks, right?
Yeah.
Did you
And,
practice
and,
Astralis?
and two other guys.
You didn't practice Astralis?
No.
What about Navi?
Practice
Other guys?
Astralis.
They're always late, so.
What?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
new.
Shots fired.
All right.
Taking that back.
That's shocking.
Already
Shocking.
clipped. Astralis always late for
Here we go.
practice.
So the pick
Pick
order
order.
is Lucas.
Lucas is again.
What the
It's
fuck?
the
Is that
second
coincidental?
Third time in a row that he's first.
And then
So, our
that's-
producer
That's
picks
Zywo
that
God.
one.
That's
Surprise.
Zywo God.
Okay, so Jacob is number 2.
That's so
Laugh
nice.
now, cry later. We're getting deep with the team names here, Jacob.
Is that a problem?
No, not really. Number 3 will be Striker. Okay, so Jacob picks simple. Makes sense. I bet Striker's going to pick a Liege.
He'd
I'm
be
not
dumb
gonna,
not
wait,
to.
hold up. I'm not going to give ideas.
Yeah, I would be dumb not to.
Never mind.
There you
Next to last.
Wait, how do I see what people?
At the very top,
It's in the
right,
log.
this will show everyone
Or
else
there too.
like who's currently picking.
Yeah.
So you can see
Oh,
right
it's
now
me.
who's picking, and
If he
then
picks Voxic
if
now,
they
that's
just
a
like
little bit
click on
cheesy, isn't
them,
it?
it'll like kind of soft show them. They have to box.
He's going for walks.
He
It's
did go
Voxic.
for
He
walks.
passed
It is
it.
Voxic.
He literally
It is
passed
Voxic.
it.
God damn it.
Oh, it's me. Shit.
I want a Voxic.
I had an assault.
Fuck. All right.
This is a. Oh,
I
you're
picked
going-
device.
Do
You're
you have
not
like
going for
money
it.
to buy with? Or you
No.
can take whatever.
Whoever.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
this is just like whoever's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Sean's last, and he's fucking panicking.
It's no good.
It's no good.
It's
Hey, you've got-
it's
You
pretty
still have,
rough.
you still have
I
like
know, I know.
several obvious
I got
ones.
this.
I'd say all the good players are gone already.
Magus?
I'm gonna go for now. I have the sloth on the t-shirt.
I mean, that's obvious. Like
He's the sloth.
obvious
yeah.
last pick now.
Locking in twists.
There you go.
Let's go. Double
I
pick.
get a
Oh, you get another one
Yeah.
because you start
You're at the
now
very bottom.
because you were the last.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, I was unhappy again.
So now we're in the.
So last is
He
actually.
has twisted images because he was last.
Yeah.
Like, how did you guys manage this?
Well, I got device.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair enough.
The salt is real.
This is now.
Electronic.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, you're picking, right?
kind of must be right.
What's Giuseppe's fisherman?
It's Giuseppe's fisherman. I'm
Okay.
What does that
Giuseppe
even mean?
in my alternative life, I guess.
Okay. Well,
He's a
he's
fisherman.
If I wasn't a journalist for HLTV, I'd be Giuseppe the fisherman.
Well,
These are my fishermen.
Look, I'm
What are
gonna.
you fishing for?
Anything, I guess.
I've gone for a really risky pick. I'm trusting you, and if Renegades are playing well, then that means
Are
the
you
JKS
kidding me?
has to be
Are
owning
you
everyone.
kidding me?
Look at JKS's
Look,
stats.
You're confident about winning. He's only helping you. Don't be mad.
Look at his stats.
Yeah.
No, his stats are insane.
He's- no, I would have.
Pick him.
I fucking did, man.
Pick him.
And I'll do it again.
Regin is picking. There we go. Rob. So he's just going with the mouse.
We gotta
picks.
steal some of them.
Well, yeah, exactly. We have to end this now.
Yeah, but he'll leave us with Carrigan, and no one's gonna pick him.
Why? He's good. He's better than JKS.
Yeah, sure, but like, is he better than I don't know, Breeze, Ethan?
Oh, I'm picking-
fucking
You just said
Nico,
Kerrigan is better than JK.
Kenny, Jesus, fucking Kirby, Rex.
What's going on?
No striker
It's
has
a
a lot
quiet
of ideas.
podcast.
Yeah.
Literally just sit here, don't say a word.
This is 6 guys on the phone.
He's
I
pressuring.
I mean, this is very millennial of us.
Yeah.
Literally just,
I'm just saying,
sitting,
10
sitting on
seconds
our
now.
phones.
The fact we're
Pressure's
having,
on.
the fact we're having a conversation though
Oh,
is
time's
7,
running out.
6, 5.
Fuck it.
Whoa.
Oh.
What'd you get?
Birmingham, Kenny.
damn it.
Kenny.
That's a bad pick though. You guys are definitely missing out here.
It's pretty hard.
Well, that's
Oh,
not a bad
Ethan.
pick. Ethan was the highest rated player in the last stage, right?
I just feel like they are so. Where are they? Where was NRG?
In the middle?
They were between
Oh, they're in
Navi
the middle.
and
I think
Ents.
I think I just missed.
What do you think about the seeding, having Australia as the number 1 seed?
I mean, they did the seeding in March, I think.
Well,
They
from
used-
March up
From
until now,
March,
the
yeah.
rankings. So yeah.
So this is how it is, you know. I mean, I don't think it matters if Australia or Liquid is number 1 or 2.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, the difference
I
between the two
agree.
teams is very low. So if Astralis loses one match, Liquid's going to be the number 1
Yeah.
quickly. So
Fair enough. As long as I
So,
want
yeah.
to.
going for Ents just left.
Oh, it's me already again.
Pick Kinky.
Dude,
This
so
is
wait
so
a whole
easy.
nother time. till
Yeah,
it
but you
comes
get
to
2 more
our-
picks. So you get some sleepers.
I felt like I always won now. I mean, I got Dupree, I got Ethan, and I got Simple. How are you going to compete against that, Jim?
I don't know, bro. We'll
Yeah.
work it out.
Good luck.
Whose pick is it? No
Mine.
strikers.
Strikers stuck again.
Super
Maybe pick Oscar.
Go for a full gold card.
Oh wait.
Gold card.
Gold.
That sounds like a fucking pension card in Australia.
Gold card.
Get you in the movies for cheap.
Who's going to pick Zeus?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
There's a couple of good
Sean
players still left.
Scurrying
Like,
through. He's got.
whichever Zeus, he's not gonna get picked.
There should be an option to pick a really bad player and put him as a captain for being a bad player. Like
You
a
can.
gold.
You can pick a dude.
Yeah,
Sure,
well,
but is he going to be, bad enough to give plus points? He's probably not going to make up for it, right?
No, probably not.
Yeah. So
We get like 10 points for winning a game if he's the
Valid.
IGL role.
All right.
Yeah.
A very AWP-heavy team here.
So you don't want to win, that's for sure.
Is he going to pick Frozen? Here we go.
Wait,
Two
who's
offers.
Stewie?
Huh?
Stewie's still there.
Lucas, no, Lucas
No,
picked
no.
Oh, really?
Lucas
Yeah.
picked
Lucas is
Uh,
quiet.
Lucas?
Oh shit, you fucked me up.
You still have 3 Mouseburst players.
He literally came in here with 5 players.
You can't pick, surely. It wouldn't work if he picks 5 because they wouldn't get enough stats. They wouldn't get enough points.
They'd more or less be.
They would have to dominate basically.
Yeah, it depends on like how it works out.
Sure.
Right? If they finish the tournament as the winners,
Do you want to
Go
explain?
with my bro.
You want to explain that one to the room?
What do you pick?
What did
He
you pick?
picked Get Right.
Get right.
Is it a year and a half since he has a positive rating at an event?
Just wait and see.
Okay.
Practice? Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I have
picking.
trust in my bro.
Yeah, I like him too.
I'm surprised Jacob hasn't picked Glaive considering how often he sucks his dick.
so
Still too
literally everyone forgot about this guy.
Oh shit.
Actually, I did. Yeah.
Wait.
Everyone forgot about
who'd you
Nico.
The thing is, like,
Nico.
it's so hard to
There's a
play this.
reason.
Look,
You want to explain?
hot
His
tip.
space hasn't been
Don't
very exciting lately.
don't
It is
do
true.
this on the phone. This is not great. Like you have to scroll so much and then you just forget about teams and shit.
Oh fuck, it's my pick.
Yeah, you're
Oh shit, you
your
got
turn.
30
Who
seconds?
got Breezy, by the way?
Me.
Of course, that was my.
Enjoy Breezy.
Yeah, enjoy it, man.
What?
Crumbles on
No,
the
I
pressure,
mean,
you know.
like,
Enjoy.
I wish you
Fuck
a good,
off.
good life with him. Good player, good.
Wait,
you're
is
a
it
good
just
guy.
rating? That's all that matters?
It depends on
rating
roles as well that you put
And
in,
rolls, yeah. So you get bonus for like op roll
How
or
important are the rolls?
It depends on.
it's like maybe 10,
Oh, you
how
get
15,
up to 10, up to 10 points
15,
for.
15% maybe of the,
Yeah,
of
maybe
the
something like
overall
that.
stats.
Shucks.
Shit, he gets another pick.
I feel my team is getting better and better.
Why? Because of our picks?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No one picking Zeus,
No one got Glaive either.
Fuck, dude.
the W Zeus.
What about Cirque? He's good pick.
Do you think that Cirque is more consistent than Breeze?
No.
Breeze is picked,
Did I
right?
ever
I
say
picked
that?
him. Well, you were
Just left.
shit talking him, so.
Now he's shit talking you, not him.
Oh, okay.
It's a difference.
You don't have an
Now,
offer.
21
so
seconds left. Heaps of time on the
is
clock
rough.
now.
I'm,
This is
my
rough.
No, I mean,
strategy
for
I think
is
I'll go with Jame time.
Can you imagine this though? Like being a Dota player and having a draft like this, like, and you have the time and the clock ticking down, you don't know which hero you want to pick.
Yeah,
It's like-
but they have a lot more time. 6
Yeah, it takes
seconds,
ages.
5. Cirque is coming.
John, you're out.
Not a bad
Yeah,
pick.
yeah.
Pick Cirque?
Yeah.
I think just to have an offer in, it's
I
not
baited him
bad.
into it.
I was going to take out all the offers just to you know.
That's the thing. Like there are almost no good offers. But
Not a single MIBR player has been picked.
Does that surprise you?
No.
I think it's too hard to pick them, right? Because
But one of them is going to have a really good tournament if they want to do
Probably
anything
Zeus.
whatsoever.
Let's go, boys.
Probably Zeus.
You should pick
Nexa,
Oh,
yeah,
let's
that's a
go,
great
boys.
pick.
I was gonna pick Nexa like next for
That's a
sure.
horrible pick.
For a
Kirby.
fourth pick,
I was
I
gonna
think
pick
it's
either
amazing.
Nexa or Kirby. Like how you got like
There's still, I think, like if we had 10 people, it would be so hard at this point right now.
yeah,
like
we would have a
fucked.
hard time right now. Yeah.
People are asking, classic. Can I be your son, Sean?
Oh, there you go.
That's a classic.
People want you to adopt them.
Oh yeah, of course.
Pimp
Taking
toxic.
children in all the time now.
Well,
Frozen's gone already. It's
Too many short shorts.
nothing new here.
All of my ideas are getting stolen right before my eyes.
Christian
Fuck
didn't
me.
have a good first stage, but he probably will have a good second stage.
That's
Why
what
are
I
you
was.
saying that?
Because I wanted to pick him.
I said I was gonna take out all the offers. I know he's not the main one, but he's still,
What are you talking about?
Chris J.
Why are you guys not
Chris J.
picking Alex from Vitality?
Yeah, he did some secondary opening yesterday.
Wasn't it like 1 in 15 that last match at one
Yeah,
point?
that's why he started picking up the
pretty
all.
sick.
Yeah, Nathan on Inferno had to, like, he fucked Greyhound up. But that Greyhound game,
I saw like when you shoot 3 guys in season.
yeah, that was bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was the T pistol for
Sipniks.
Greyhound as well.
Oh,
They're in a
there you
3v3, and I
Sipniks.
think it was Malta like whiffed. They could have probably won that round.
Blade doesn't
And
have the
Malta had
best.
that crazy
best
4K
happy
round
months.
with the Mag 7,
So,
and they
I
still
picked
lost.
Zipix.
So I would still
Who
pick him.
picked Cabby?
I picked him.
Why?
Kirby.
Because you were going to pick him.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Such a
Get Valda then.
fuck no.
you don't like Valde?
I like Valda, but
Jacob's going to replace Yugi on North if he doesn't get more than 50 AWP kills.
Look, who's picking LXCB? Somebody surely has
Literally
to pick LXCB.
No one.
It's the best tournament. for
Not
him
even
to
Ents is
tear
picking
their-
LXCB.
And it's the
He's
best
watching
tournament for
his
him to tear their ass.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Guardian. There you go.
Guardian.
he's a major legend, guys.
Yeah.
Don't you want to win
Yes.
or what?
Is he gonna win the major?
You picked 3 Mousebox players.
Exactly, I want to win.
Exactly.
All right. Lucas is
Okay.
picking Flamey.
Did he pick
Nitro.
He picked Flavy last time, did he?
Oh.
It's going all over the place now.
I don't see what the.
If you,
gonna pick
you
two
can
get
watch
points for
I have
fast
to go up all the way
No,
up.
Lucas.
Leave.
Why is Lucas not talking on?
That was my pick.
I think he's shy.
Oh.
Like,
And
he,
he also-
doesn't want people to hear.
I think it interrupts like our feed.
Yeah.
If he talks.
The echo, right?
Yeah.
You kind of want to have 2 from one team that's going to do well.
If
I'm about to
Yugi
pick Zeus,
gets,
honestly.
gets kicked from
Which Zeus?
no, yeah.
A good one.
Which one?
which one is that?
I think I know who I've got as my last pick.
Target.
Whoever I
Who did you pick?
There you go, Valde.
Oh, that's a good shout. No one's picked Nitro. That's surprising. If we think Liquid's going to go all the way, Nitro's still going to frag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just quiet about that, hoping no one
I was
would.
gonna
Right,
pick him.
I literally
keep doing that.
was gonna pick him.
Sean literally last. No way you're gonna like.
You're not getting anybody
Same
anybody
thing.
good anymore.
I'm not aiming at anyone
Whoa,
because
that's-
everyone's gonna get picked.
There are still some.
rain, no?
There's
Well,
still
you haven't
some
played
decent
against
picks.
Fed.
How did Stan do in the
So if you
group
think you're going to wreck phase, probably
Decent,
don't
did
pick
pretty
Rank.
good.
He did pretty good.
Yeah.
I have 3 other games.
Yeah, I know, but
He had like
he
1.16
could
or
hemorrhage.
something.
Okay,
Pretty
I'm gonna go with this.
Jacob, that's a good shout.
Chris Jacob.
They must be really good in practice.
Maybe only against you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe they're shit against
Maybe
anyone
you
else.
guys just suck, yeah. Yeah. After that.
This draft took quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Who's left?
I mean, it's
Oh, it's me?
40 seconds up to 40
I'd say
seconds. per
Alex
pick.
from Vitality is not a bad pick. You know.
What?
It's a great pick.
What about Flame?
Made
How about that crowd?
made French CS great again.
Olaf
nobody's-
Meister used to
nobody's
be the
gonna pick-
best player in the world.
Nobody's gonna pick Crad, really?
How did James do? Not
Chris
good at-
J.
I think Chris J is like a decent, off
Yeah.
pick. Definitely.
What about Forrest, right? He's going to have a good major. He's a legend.
12 seconds.
They might.
somebody already?
Sure, right?
Look, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
There's all
Somebody
the
already
Charles
picked
pick.
Get Right.
Yeah, all the Charles is gone. All of
Fallen is a good
gone.
pick. Fallen is a very good
I needed an offer,
All
so
of, and oh no,
like he brings in like
You know,
10,
I
have three-
10,
I have
rolls
three
I'm gonna go into the dark.
because you're a bitch. Why'd you do
Let's
that?
go.
Boomage. Okay, so now if everyone hits assign roles, it's at the top. That'll take us to a new page. So Lucas will have to bring up all of our pages one at a time. But this next section here, for all the viewers at home, if you look at this page, it has assigned roles to players. What, Lucas?
What do I do?
You can't do that? You can after we've done it. You can go to our teams. Yes.
What do I do?
So go to the very top, keep going, hit assign roles here. And then when you go to assign roles, you see all those little icons, right? So if you click
I have so many
on those
aggressive. I have
icons, you
exit
see
packs
come
as
up
the only
red.
like dog.
and then
So
the
people are-
boosters one, you guys hit
Where's
boosters.
the
Boosters is what you use per match. So you update a booster per match. So every round you'll be adding in new boosters, and there's a runtime booster there, which runtime.gg next level meal. The player gets a boost from the consuming his runtime GG meal and gets 20 points after the match.
Let's go.
It's just obviously a gimmick.
So you have to.
It's literally
after
just
every
free.
game you have to
No,
run and boost.
the boosters are just you use them
Do
once.
after every round,
Yeah.
Okay.
but you can only use each booster once, right?
Yeah.
During the tournament.
Yeah, and roll you just
There's a lot of
assign
boosters,
once, and you're done for the whole thing. So all of the rolls need to be preset before the first match, and the rest, the boosters you can do as the tournament
So
goes
an
on.
example that like you could give of a good role for players would be like players like Nico, Twist, for example, who have like really high headshot percentage. They're really good. I was going to say shitload of headshots, but then I thought a high headshot percentage makes more sense. So yeah, like those kind of roles are cool. And then that's how you just get bonus points on top of the players. But if you have like Simple and Zywoo, you're pretty much guaranteed.
Would you say
yeah.
the stat hunter is good for Simple, for example?
Like
But also like
Definitely.
there you go, saving that all.
or for device.
Look, I'm done.
Device.
The entry fragger is also pretty good for like players like Zywoo, Oppers. If you have 2 Oppers, you use like the op roll.
I
and
have 3 Oppers. One of them
and
is a
entry
defender.
fragger.
One of them is a defender. The other is an entry fragger. So
T-side rating Dupree. There we go.
Where was Kirby doing his work? Was it T side or CT side?
I think it was both. I think it was just
Zach.
breaking house.
Yeah, he
Zach.
Wasn't he the highest rated player of the first stage?
Yeah.
Was
No,
Ethan?
that's
No, it was Ethan, and
I
then
got
Kirby
Ethan,
was the
yeah.
second one, right? And you still
It's
didn't
weird that
win.
Ethan was so good
I didn't
because
participate.
he wasn't.
Oh, that's true. But that doesn't change the fact that you didn't win.
Shut up.
You use the boosters now.
Yeah. So like if you, that would be to do with the matchup, right?
I would.
So
Hot tip. I would do it for the best of 3s because there you have a better chance that it's actually going to happen in one of the. It's. Well, yeah. You only have those boosters once. You can only use them once for the whole
Yeah.
thing.
And if
So-
it's a best of 3, you only need it to happen in one map of the 3 potential maps.
Yeah.
So it's better to use it that way.
So you can probably blow away all your boosters.
But you can do the runtime. The last one that's basically just like a freebie for 20 points. The runtime GG next level meal.
over a best of 3, would that only get you 20 points or would it get you 60?
Just 20.
Okay, so you could use that if you know your player's going to hemorrhage.
It doesn't even matter. Like it's just going to give you a
20
as
points
long
for
as you're
that.
not going to
guaranteed
use.
20 points.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're not going to use any other boosters in that
Do
round.
you save
might
it
as well
somewhere, or
put
is
it
it
in.
just save?
It's automatically
Automatically
saved.
saves,
Like
yeah.
when you put them in, they save.
Okay, don't save it at all.
I think I won this. Honestly.
All right, Lucas, can you run a poll in the chat that I can't see to vote on whose team's going to win? I don't know if you can pull them up and show through them. I guess Prof will be able to see it.
Yeah.
But we can do a poll. I don't know how many people are even watching. There's probably about 6 of you out there.
Probably so.
We have
1400.
Truly riveting stuff
Yeah.
here.
1,400?
Yeah.
Watching
1,400
6
people.
dudes sit in chairs and play with our phones. So you guys are the real MVP.
Someone did actually just write that in
Yeah,
the chat.
that's pretty strange.
Yeah.
But normally they look at me in my bedroom. You know when I do it from Malta, I've just made my bed every time before we do that podcast. Like I've always just made my bed. Like everyone always goes, "There's fucking girl shoes." Yeah, all right. I'm a 30-year-old man who's had sex with a woman and she left her shoes in my house. Cool guys. Thanks for pointing that
Did
out.
you recently-
Thanks from the store.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Chad's
That's
definitely bought this from the store. Like,
Definitely a weird
it's
flex,
vague
yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
Definitely a verge.
Like you have 6.
All right. So, are we doing the poll?
I don't know.
if we're good.
Well, I think yes. Okay, Lucas, go from top to bottom. Prof can read out the team names because I don't have a laptop.
Oh,
handy.
we have a good one right there.
What's that?
A team name.
Oh.
Teammate. I need to read
Yeah,
them
read the
out.
team name and
So it's-
who's in the team. Then project your voice a little.
Oh fuck. So I need to go through every team.
Yeah, and then
Like a
they can
ranger
vote.
percenter, yeah.
And then and we can have a vote as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just open
I
that.
mean, I'm
You
gonna
know
vote
I
for
have the
mine.
best team,
I'm
you just
gonna
don't wanna
vote for
vote
mine. I don't give a
like-
fuck.
But honestly, nobody competes.
Look,
against
let's do it this way. We can't vote for our own team.
Okay,
we have
there you
to
go.
vote
Fair
for
enough.
anybody else's. Okay.
I'm gonna vote for Wittgenstein.
Because of Get Right.
No, because he's Danish.
No, because he got Get Right, he got Voxic, he got. I know he got.
Rob.
Shit players, yeah.
Rosen.
All shit players. Jesus. So wait, what are we voting for? The worst team?
Well, that's the best team. The
What is
best
Jacob
team.
talking about?
He's just talking shit. I don't know what his problem
All
is
right,
this
so
morning.
go for it.
So yeah, so Sponge's team merge
So,
has Device, JKS, Breezy, Kirby, and Dominic. This is actually pretty sick.
Honorable, yeah.
This is
It's
pretty
okay.
sick.
It's all right.
Okay, going further.
Second best name.
Tim.
Yeah.
Laugh now, cry later. Can we get the explanation of the name?
Not at all.
I can
Not at
explain it for you.
Okay.
Basically, live your life by enjoying the moments now as opposed to looking at everything in a negative and sad light.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So he has Simple, has Ethan, Dupree, Guardian, and Valde.
Ooh.
Honestly,
kinda-
I love the start. I love the first three, and
Yeah.
then you just
Yeah, it's
went
like-
off the cliff.
Tapers off.
It was a good start.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I
a
also
good
think
ending
like Breezy is going to be
look,
better
those
than
first
Ethan.
three will probably just carry your ass anyway. So
Yeah, I got the winner
I
to
don't
make
think.
him.
I don't think
That's simple.
Ethan is not going to keep up the form for the.
No, of
for the
course
first
not.
stage.
He's just going to be the best rated player, and then all of a sudden drop off a cliff. No, of course. Yeah, I see that happen.
Never happened before.
just go ahead.
Never
go,
happened.
Anyway,
go ahead.
continue.
So let's go. So Regin, the Queens. Okay.
Yeah, why the Queens?
No idea, bro.
Okay. Did you have a team called the Queens?
I was just like, what to call it?
So it's Woxic, Rops, and Frozen.
A
Okay.
good start.
That
Good
is it.
start. Yeah.
As long as they win the games, though, because like the reason, no, but the reason I don't pick like 3 players from the same team is because one guy is normally gonna like have decent stats even if they lose. But if you pick 3 players and they lose, probably
It's unlikely that 3 people will play well and
exactly.
lose.
Yeah.
But if they win and they win as a team, then he's got perfect pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they need to go deep.
Who are the
That's
next
thing.
2?
So and then he has Get Right and Jacob, and Get Right paired, of course, with the runtime GG next to me.
So
Boost
at
Get
least he
Right
gives you
stats.
point there.
On point with the sponsors.
Yes. So that's it. Not that exciting. I don't know. Depends on mouse sports very heavily. Then it's my team, Giuseppe's Fisherman, of course. NAF, Electronic, Nico, Nexa, and Fallen. This could
I have this.
This
I
could
have
be a
this as
real
winning.
team,
I
actually.
have this as a winning
This is
team.
literally
actually.
phase 2.0.
The Fallen one is the only weird one though, because MIBR could potentially like.
But it's the last pick. Like it's a solid last pick.
It's gonna
I
be
think,
good.
Still,
gonna be
it could be good.
Like usually
You
when
don't get to pick new teams in the next stage, right?
This
No. This
So
is
you
all.
were
This is
literally-
for the whole thing.
this for the playoffs as well.
Do you think Fallen's gonna make the playoffs?
I don't, but if he's not playing, he's still just like 0. He's not going minus, so that's also fair.
Okay.
So he needs the players making the playoffs to make him points.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
also,
always good to have
just like-
players in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
that's true.
like
actually.
fairly bad
Shit.
offers with the op roll can like finish positive, so that's okay. That's kind
Oh,
of
it's
what-
fairly easy to get points with the op roll.
It's not a bad team. Okay.
No, it's a pretty good team.
Jacob says.
Look at that. Look at that. So Lucas's team, the producer, Zaiwu, Stevie,
Stevie.
Stewie, Sergey, Glaive, and Apex.
That's a good one. They got Glaive. Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. I feel like Stewie
Yeah.
with the second pick. I mean, it's okay. Yes. Zaiwu is the main carry there. Then Sean Gears.
No, the name of the
Daddy-
team.
Daddy
Make sure you
is-
say the name of the team.
Daddy and his 5 children.
There you go.
There we go.
Wow.
So the 5 children are Twists, Magic, Shocks, Cirque, and Boomich. Not that bad. Like Boomich is kind of a
That's decent.
sleeper pick.
feel
For a
like-
5th pick, it's pretty good.
We've been really able to assemble some teams here though with like solid fraggers across the board. I
Yeah.
don't feel like anyone's
Because
picked,
if we had 2 or 3 more people, we would have been
it'd be
fucked. Like
fucked.
we would
2
have
or 3 more
gotten to a
people
point
would be
where
going this
yeah.
I guess we're lucky that Trace decided he didn't want to come. So that's good.
I guess we are.
No, he wanted to auto draft. I was like, no, you have to come. The
Yeah.
whole point is you have to be here.
Wait, what?
Because you can just auto draft. It'll just pick like the highest rated players in order from like 1 to whatever it is.
That would have been great content.
Thanks, Trace. Yeah, this guy's the next highest rated. All right.
So,
Lucas, who won?
There's one more.
Oh,
Strike, yeah, Striker, DDPC. That is,
Hashtag Iropichi.
yeah, okay, that's some Czech thing,
That's
I guess.
in this spirit.
Okay. Elige, Kenyes, Alu, Zipnix, and Nitro.
If you hadn't picked Alu, I would have been on board.
Yeah, why did you pick Aleph?
I panicked. I didn't have.
Oh no!
I had like 5 seconds left, and I didn't want to
Should have
scroll
gone
down and
Alex,
figure out.
Alex
Like,
B at that point.
Yeah.
probably. I mean, I'm fine with all of though. It's not a bad.
Okay, so I'll remind everybody every day to do their boosters because this is going to be quite competitive. And if I find something that we can do as a decent prize, maybe I'll find something. I tend to find things all the time. Then I'll put something up as a prize.
Yeah.
You didn't like my idea?
Your idea was pretty
Oh,
bad.
didn't we? Weren't we supposed to vote on people?
Well, apparently they voted in chat.
They
and I
voted,
won.
yeah, Spunk got 32%.
I
Sponge?
think
I think it's a
Sponge got 32?
popularity contest.
Yeah.
was second?
Am I last?
Sean 20%, Pimp 21%.
Oh, there you go.
I have 15 and Striker 10. And for some reason you're not in the poll at all.
wow, Lucas against his own countrymen, not putting him in the bowl. So
Let's be honest. You would have got zero anyway.
okay, so
I can accept.
that's it. Thank you very much for coming out. So we got 2 options here as we move forward. It's only 4:30. If you guys want to hang around while we chat about the topics we have coming up, that's cool. I don't know how long you can leave whenever you want. Like as soon as you're fed up with the conversation, if Jacob says something, this
Just
is your
get up and
you can leave.
Just get up and leave.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So Because you've been saying very aggressive things today,
Sorry,
Joe.
I'll tone it down.
I need you to be nice.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay. What is the first topic, Prof? Because you write them.
So we Striker actually did it this time, most of them.
I don't remember
But
what I
the
wrote,
first
though.
part was like the challenger stage, like the good and the bad. We split it into two halves, starting with the good for some reason. I don't know why. I think the bad is more fun.
Okay.
So we can talk
I'm only
about
talking about
We
the
can
good stuff.
ramp up. We can ramp
can
up.
Furia survive?
Do we think the team will get poached?
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that. We have vitality and complexity. Those are the three, the bad, I think, from the first stage.
Well, we can, first of all, do you think anybody else deserves to be highlighted? Because, like, we had, obviously, the teams that didn't make it through, for example, like, there's Furia on an obvious pick, right? Tyloo, is that really something that we expected from?
we
No.
I think Hellraisers is like falling off a cliff.
Well, but based on the results, we kind of knew that was going to happen. Like, they've had such shit results
Like compared
beforehand.
to like prior majors.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is true.
Issa is a name who's like really. I didn't look at his stats from this tournament,
He
but
wasn't
like
great
coming
either.
into this, when Woxic's gone, when you took him, Issa seems to be struggling a lot more, right? And that could be like a personnel thing or whatever. You wouldn't expect the duo to make him be able to frag. Maybe it was just what Woxic brought to the team, right? Because he's always, I speak to him. He's like a really happy kind of guy. Would bring a good mood to the squad. So maybe the new Hellraisers doesn't have.
Yeah, they definitely don't. Just looking at them playing, it seems like they are so subdued. So like
Without knowing,
they weren't tilting, but they are. I don't know. They're just like
They're so isolated.
semi tilted,
Yeah.
like passive tilt.
I mean, without knowing Oscar,
Like, no energy and
personally,
shit.
I'd say there's quite a contrast between Voxic and Oscar in terms
Yeah,
of
Yeah, for
terms
sure,
of,
for
yeah,
sure.
and
spreading happiness and being,
Well, Lau's
positive.
Lau's a
Yeah.
quiat guy.
Yeah.
Positivity.
Yeah.
Lau's pretty quiet.
Rookie.
He's like new, so for him it would be like difficult to really settle
Takes
in.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of an awkward one there for Hellraisers. Who are the other ones in the bad? Or are we doing the good first?
Oh, Furia.
Furia. So the Furia one, I think.
I called
they're
it.
a
Like,
great
that was my
team.
big prediction.
I was really surprised.
Congratulations,
Great
Striker.
I had to put it.
I have nothing bad to say.
What did you want to
for
say?
me, I'm a little surprised they went 1-3, no?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that, but I'm not surprised they're not.
they're not in. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were a cusp team, right? I had like Avangard, Furia, like they were on the cusp of being the eighth team to come on through. Obviously, Fours not making it. We probably helped in the overhyping of Fours, like from like the analyst desks and
It was
from
Malalo, I think.
the podcast and stuff.
Like, oh,
But Fours as a team, like I don't know how. I think it mental. That must be the only way they crumble because I think I watched them and they played legit.
No, and the online qualifiers they've been playing, they're so legit.
It's also different, like coming like from online qualifiers to all those things and then sitting here.
Yeah,
So
true.
that's the thing though. During the CIS minor, this is one thing that we noted, right? Is that every time like Jerry would go up to do an interview with Sue, he'd be like, "Yeah, it's on LAN, right?" Because everyone was talking shit about them, right? And he was like, "Yeah, of course we're beating these guys. It's LAN." And Jerry was like hilarious with it. But I think like when you play Dream Eaters, who they look so they if you look at Dream Eaters, it doesn't look like they made any mistakes. Like they
No.
just played so calm and they just consistent and just continue.
Tell me
to
you're not
produce.
putting them as O3 the next day.
No. I'll put somebody like fucking.
The thing is, there are like 6 teams.
You're gonna put phases on
Yeah, why not?
There are like
Nah.
6 teams who could go 3 in the next stage.
But look at, do we have the opening matches of it? Wait, we'll get ahead of ourselves. Let's keep talking about this stuff first. We needed a preview monitor. That's one thing I forgot. Next time, I'll get a preview monitor.
What are we talking about?
Sure, just
We're talking
grab the
about teams
TV.
right now.
Oh yeah, what team?
From the challenger stage.
Well, we have Furia.
I mean,
We were talking about Furia.
Yeah.
Furia, and then
Them getting
somehow you
destroyed by
went to
Simon. That was
Force.
the
I
big
don't know.
one.
Yeah, I don't know which was Fours.
We can stick. What do you think about Furia?
I think they're a good team. I just think they heavily underperformed during this minor major. I don't know. Like when you were looking at them play, we saw them one time at the A3. I think Art had a good game, and it seemed like they were good, right? But there are just so many teams coming into the stage that we did not expect to play well that actually played some decent cards, right?
Sure.
Dream Eaters, nobody expected them to be well. Force, we knew they're going to be good, but that good, consider how easy of a route they got towards the major. I think there was a lot of teams that you'd expect Furia to beat, and yes, they're on the cusp, but I expect them to go through 3-1 halfway too.
All right, let's do this. Normally on the podcast, we do this thing like yay or nay, and we we have buttons, but we don't need to have buttons. We can
Just
just
thumbs up, thumbs down.
Exactly. That's perfect. Or we'll do thumbs. Thumbs are easier. Okay. So do we think?
You know, the emoji is like a finger, you know? Like
Yeah,
it's,
but I was thinking just putting your hand up. But
We literally have the yay is this.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
Is
that's
this
what I
on the
mean.
stream.
give me a break, all right? Anyway, with this, the question's going to be, and just based off what you said, do we think after this event that Furia, they're going to fall apart as a team? They have roster changes. So yay or nay? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
You're seeing a roster change coming?
I don't see
Now,
any roster change.
I'm going to let Prof go because he told me a story yesterday as to why I might think that.
I mean, it's not that
So
big,
set us
but
up for failure here.
just
Hey.
after the match, who they lose to? Like, the Simon, right?
Simon,
Yeah.
he got destroyed.
Just after the match finished, like people were getting up. Some people are sad, some more sad. Yuri was just sitting there, just like hand in his face in his hands.
Yeah.
Obviously, people are coming up to him, like the coach, like, okay, it's okay, give him like a high five or something. He was like nothing, just like completely ignoring them. Then Vinny comes up, Vinny smiling for some reason, as he always is. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, hey man, what's going on? It's like nothing. I don't know. So he just seemed mega tilted.
True.
And he's the guy that obviously was the replacement for Colzera or potentially for MIBR, right?
Yeah.
So
But
who
the
knows?
thing is-
And MIBR still didn't finish their team.
True story. We were on obviously the A stream. That was on the B stream, right? Simon versus Furia. Sue and I are walking back to get catering, right? And Furia is walking like right next to us, and like Vinny's like, haha, Sue's like smiling like in the front, and we're like, oh yeah, nice guys. Like, we thought they won.
Oh, shit.
They just won.
God.
They look so happy. They literally just got done losing.
Did you get? I don't know. Did you get a reaction? Did they say
You should
something
tell the
about
other story like that, Sean, from the other day, from day one, when
What
you
was
were
that?
coming into the venue.
Oh God. I'm not gonna.
Don't want to tell that one? Okay, we can leave
So
that one.
awkward.
Look,
Yeah.
but
I'm just
gonna-
an awkward human.
countering
Some
that.
curb your enthusiasm stuff. Like a team just lost and they're all coming down the street. I'm coming the other way, and I know they just lost. And I go, good luck. I didn't even know what to say.
The thing is, like, it's so awkward because, like, our job is obviously to, like, critique the teams and the players,
Yeah.
right? But, like, we try and avoid, look, I think we do a very good job of not going out there and saying, man, this guy fucking sucks, taking off
No,
the
we
team.
don't. We don't ever do that.
We go out there and we say, this guy made a mistake, or this was a bad play, or he had a bad game, right? But when, like, players and teams lose, like, obviously, the three of us, we all know that feeling of the loss, right?
It feels terrible.
But we're on the other side just watching the game, and we've seen it for, like, both teams, and we know what
such
happened.
BM. Did you just notice that?
Hey, no,
the
well, I'm
three
just
of us. He said the three of us. We all understand.
I meant because we're on the analyst desk, all right? Because we go up there and we talk about it. So
And
I never know.
we're
how
also
to,
players.
I
I
never.
thought that's what he meant.
That is kind of what I meant. I
That's
was trying to get out of that.
understandable.
But my
He
point
also
is,
played at one point.
my point is, it's the way that we interact with players. The way that we interact with the players, right? It's really weird. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I should talk to players or I shouldn't, because I feel like they're a little bit. They know that I'm going to talk about them, right? That's our job. I don't want to like skew that line. I don't want it to be like. I don't want them to like resent me if they feel that I was their friend and I went up and said, "Hey, this guy had a bad game," because I have to go up there and say he had a bad
players
game.
really care.
I hope
You
not.
think they care?
I hope not.
Some of them do.
Like, if they care, they should. I don't know how to say it. Like, it's not good for them mentally if they like take this personally in. Like, if they are playing bad, they know it.
Sure.
Like, whether you say it or not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think they take it
I don't
personally.
think so. It's your job to tell the viewers that this guy was not so good, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point to make, right? Because when we were playing, I think a lot of us
Took it personally.
We're watching those segments, you know, and thinking to ourselves whenever Lopez said something bad, which he did 24/7, right? it sometimes hurt you, right? You're looking at it and see that was a nice way of putting it.
Yeah,
forward, right?
it was,
I could
it
have
was.
been
That
way
was a
more
positive
harsh
way of
there.
putting it.
There we go. So I think a lot of the players back then, at least, took it to the heart. I think you did.
Yeah.
I think I did. So I reckon that some of the practice that you guys do, or some of the mental preparation that you do within the big organizations, that either you don't watch that shit, like you don't listen to us, because you should be able to acknowledge yourself and you're having a bad game. You know what the mistake were, that we don't have to tell you. And if we're by any chance saying something that you didn't think of, then use that as a positive and just, you know, let everything else, you know, fly in, fly out of the.
Yeah. I think that's a thing as well. Like, I don't know. We have like limited amount of time and there's only so many things we can say.
Yeah.
And we also only, like, for example, a lot of the tournaments we watch, we only see what the viewer at home sees, right? Unless we watch like GoTV, which we don't.
That's so rare.
Yeah.
That's
And so like when we go in and we maybe like miss like key components of the game because we can only, you know, catch up on what everybody else is. So we're kind of hamstrung in doing our job in that regard as well, which sucks because it doesn't get like the best opportunity to tell the whole picture, which is unfortunate because I don't want to, you know, make anybody seem like a bad guy for no reason. But sometimes to be entertaining, you know, you have to be a little bit more harsh, which is unfortunate part of, you know, the industry, I guess. But where are we going with this? We're talking about Furia. These two fucking giggles cunts over here.
Someone's insulting you in the chat. It's pretty.
Oh, who is it?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Give me the name.
It's
What is he saying?
Lage 15.
What's he saying?
Sponge doesn't know this, but there are also pros that also win matches. I don't know what he's about, but the second part is not that he ever did it.
Okay.
Talking about Sponge.
Okay.
So
You have won one game.
I did win one game.
There was a
Against you?
game.
Yeah.
There was a game.
versus Titan.
I beat,
Remember that Titan game?
yeah,
Titan.
beat Titan.
Should look at the stats for that
Beat
one.
MSL a couple times.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
show it on the stream.
Anyway, how about you go live in Australia and play Counter-Strike, you motherfucker, professionally? We're here competing against the rest of the world. Anyway, that's probably why he's at home typing angry things and we're here.
There you
Fuck
go.
that guy.
Hey, positive.
Well,
Imagine
positive,
talking
positive.
to the guy on the stream in front of all the people.
I know. This is the thing that they don't get, right? Because they get
definitely
attention.
get the last word.
They get attention, so they feel good. But the thing is, like, I could just fucking destroy this cunt. I don't know anything about him. I'm like a brave enough person to put myself out there every day on camera, and my personality, and this is like me. But this is just some fucking dickhead behind text, like who's like, I'm so angry at my life. My girlfriend fucking cheated on me. I have a shit job. I work at fucking Woolworths stacking shelves until 4 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't had my dick sucked.
What business was?
I don't. Woolworths is a supermarket.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a- All right.
People love it when I
You're
get mad.
definitely
so it's
right,
good.
though.
Yeah. Because like people who talk shit online like that, right? They're probably normally scared people in life, right? Like you're venting at something else. You're like taking your anger out on someone else because you're mad at some shit. It's like yesterday with all the Furia drama that blew up, right?
Is that why, dude?
Is that why you get mad?
Yeah.
Why do you get mad? You like breaking
You
things?
just hit me right now.
Oh shit! Sorry, Jacob. This is different meaningful. If you guys didn't know, this is actually a new podcast we're starting called "Be My Therapist."
I really feel like I'm on an episode like Dr. Phil right now. Like, what is going on?
Let's get back to Counter-Strike. What's the next topic?
Vitality or complexity?
Let's go Vitality.
I want to talk about mentality.
Okay, go.
Use that.
Okay.
He's not touching that.
I think that Vitality coming in here obviously had the most pressure on them out of all of the teams.
Yeah.
I think that knowing that you have one of the best players in the world on your team as well for the other guys can be a bit of a crutch in certain situations. And I think that from what Nathan was saying yesterday in that post-game interview, I don't know how many of you caught it, but it sounded like he was saying that in practice, they were trying to be too far ahead of where they were before they had the player break. So that caused miscommunications and stuff because they didn't tune up what they had before. They tried to just add everything new. So they were not doing all the things they did before correctly. And I think now that they've had this first week of teething issues to get out of the way, they're going to remember what it was like before and go back to playing good. Here you go. What do you want to say?
I completely agree.
Oh, I thought you were going to disagree.
No. Shape. They're tired. It's been a long road for Vitality to fight where they are as the second best team in the world. They started by playing online qualifiers. They played a shit ton of matches. They never really took a break during that 6-7 months period. So when they finally got to a break, I think that all the players from Vitality really needed that. They needed to get away from the computer, away from that pressure, away from all that grind they've been putting into it. And when you get to a state where you mentally just completely shut down for a week or two, which I'm sure they've had, to get back into the state where you have to compete against some of the best teams in the world, despite it being the first stage of the major, it's a tough task, right? You have to get back into it. So the fact that they're able to survive the first stage here and come into the second one, knowing that they are as good as they are, just play themselves warm and stuff, get back into the grind where they have the mentality in order to compete with some of the best. I think Vitality is going to be a completely different team from tomorrow.
I hope so.
So that would be my take on it. But I mean, you can probably attest to it as well. When you're playing Counter-Strike 24/7, you're grinding for 7 months straight, and you finally get 2 weeks off, you just completely forget about everything.
You don't touch the keyboard.
You don't touch it at all. So when you have to get back, as said, in practice, you're probably thinking you're better than you are. You're getting beat by Force, Dream Eaters, or whoever the hell you're playing, who you shouldn't be beaten by. And then you come in here with a little bit of, less confident about the results and all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense to me. But the fact that they made it through despite that, I think Vitality is going to be a complete different team. Also, given the fact that we have MIBR, NIP, FaZe, ends with all these roster moves, it should be possible to move on.
Does anyone have? Here we go.
Yeah, I would say like the vacation, the player break, or whatever you would call it, where you take these 2 weeks off. Like you have these old players, like they're getting old actually. Nathan, RPK, Apex actually also up there. Like they're getting there. So I don't think it affects them that much anymore. I think it's more like the younger players, like because I know like Robs and Frozen, whatever, like they have player break, but they just keep playing because they haven't played for freaking 20 years almost.
Yeah.
So that's the difference there, I think. But in my opinion, Vitality, I think they there was a pressure for them to beat this 3-0 team coming in, and then you're playing best of ones against who was the last 3 meters? No,
They lost to Dream Eaters.
They lost to Simon
Greyhound.
and Dream Eaters, right?
They played Greyhound as the last game.
yeah, but in the best of ones,
They lost to
Simon and
Dust
Dream
2,
Eaters.
Yeah.
16-8. They lost to Dream Eaters
What's the
16-14.
song?
Yeah, I mean,
Dream Eaters.
all five matches they played: Simon, INTZ, Dream Eaters, Hellraisers, Greyhound.
Not
So
a
they didn't play
single
a
good
single
team.
good team.
Yeah,
I think that's the
Let
rough
that
part
sink
about
in.
that's the rough part about it because we haven't really seen them against a good team. I think that
gotta
can be a
beat the
double-edged
only
blade.
Dream-
Yeah, you could say like they're playing literally unknown teams, right?
Yeah.
They're familiar with playing against like the top 10
Yeah.
teams
Yeah.
in the circuit. And
that can also be a hindrance actually. Like coming.
Well, yeah,
to
100%
that.
for sure.
Because we also felt that in the minor against Sprout, no chance and stuff. Like we also got wrecked there.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
You shouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what do
shouldn't
you
be.
think's the solution to that, right? Because when we come into tournaments like this, it is off the back. Well, next year it won't be, but it's off the back of normally a break, right? And it's hard, even if it wasn't off of a break and you were versing Dream Eaters, it's still a team that you don't know very well, right? So is that something that you've talked about your team about dealing with as a solution? Obviously, you won't give away.
I mean, like we approach like every team like it's a liquid or strategist or whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter because you should always respect your opponent because these Russian teams they play with balls out, like they don't care. And they play like that in practice also.
Yeah,
and,
Yeah,
and
they do.
Even worse, right?
that's no, I would actually not say
No,
that.
it's literally the same.
I think literally the same.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
the
also
same.
why I think they're succeeding, especially in this best of one environment. Because if a player going off or whatever, and you get these fast 5-6 rounds, you can just snowball from there.
Yeah.
So I think you can do that to some extent in best of ones, and it's get harder to do in best of 3 because it's really hard to be that consistent by being this aggressive, YOLO, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have any other points about Vitality?
No,
No? Good?
no,
okay.
but I think I agree with.
Needs to be
I-
more than the Zawu show.
That's the thing,
Yeah,
right? Because
that's
not
100%.
a single player was like a positive guy to look to. I know NBK had a decent game.
Towards the
I know,
end.
Yeah, they
in
took
the end.
turns. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
every now and
That's the
again,
thing,
like
right?
somebody was up there with Zayu, but it's not like
you
one
need
guy
that
was there.
second star. I even said it
Yeah.
on the desk before. I don't think Vitality is going to be a consistent top 4 team with the roster they have right now. They need some more skill in that lineup. Whatever that's moving RPK, moving NBK into a new position of doing something with the lineup in order to facilitate a second star of consistent performance, then they have to do that because it can't be all Saibu. There's a guy called Kiyoshima out there. I know people don't want to play with him for whatever reason, but he has the skill set in order to make a team like Vitality even better.
Just quickly, I think you could probably compare Vitality now with Saiwu at peak form with Navi when they still had Edward, right?
But they still had a
Not
goalie
Navi.
out there too.
Yeah, like Boomich, you would say is probably an upgrade of Edward. He's the younger player. He's probably
But there's
a bit
still
more hungry.
electronic and Navi.
Yeah,
Like
but
there's
electronic, yeah.
so
That's
there's one
true.
guy who's up there all the
Okay.
time. Like
Well, if we go
almost all the time.
Back to the end of 2017
Well, yeah.
then. So
Yeah,
before
that's more-
electronic joined. But I guess that means we just need consistency out of one of the current players, and if they can't get that, they need to find one
Yeah,
somewhere
I
else.
think the problem with Apex is just that first of all, his role obviously doesn't really allow him to be super consistent. But just generally, he likes to overpeak a lot, and
Yeah,
it
he'll
obviously
make like
comes.
3 mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. He'll
Every
make.
best of 3.
Yeah, exactly. He
So
makes
possible.
very basic
He'll
mistakes
also
every single
win
match.
like 2 or 3 rounds.
That's the thing. Where's the trade-off, right? Like,
Yeah.
I guess if you're playing more like Simon Gaming, for
Yeah.
example, then if Apex makes 3 or 4 mistakes in a game, that's probably good,
Yeah.
right? But like, if you're playing in a system, which Vitality, when they played that opening game, it looked like they were just running so many strats. If someone's making a mistake, they were missing flashes, right?
Yeah.
Like they were over peaking that. So those details, when you're in a system, obviously it's not going to work the same way.
Yeah.
Whereas I think your team is obviously, you have your strats and stuff, but it feels like you have so many stars that even if they do fuck up a situation, Rops will just kill 3 people, or Frozen will win a clutch, or Woxic will AWP some people.
I
Like,
mean, like that's also kind of what happened
Right, yeah,
against Force. I would say like Kerrigan was just going mental.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how he read. Like it was like he took a book and opened like, oh, here's Force playbook. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so they're gonna go B. I'm gonna go B. Like he was just all over.
Yeah.
Like they got like 14 entries, like I told in the beginning, and Kerrigan just came in and do multi-frags all the time. Like then you, what are you gonna do?
sure.
Tell the
Yeah.
truth, how tilted was your team the 3rd time? What's its mouse broke?
We're not doing any Woxic
It
mouse
wasn't-
talk. There's no Woxic
No,
mouse.
no.
It's on a kibosh on the
No.
podcast.
I would've been
We'll get
so
taken
drunk.
down. We're going to get DCMA'd
It's
or
not
whatever the
about.
fuck it is that we
That's the
talk
thing.
about
It
now.
was not about a mouse past the first point. So that's
That's
the
the
fake
miscommunication.
news that
okay.
has
It
been
was
around.
some
Didn't know
config issues on PCs.
Yeah.
And then that was fixed. I think they've got to the
Okay.
bottom of that now. So as far as I've been told, that should be all sorted.
Why is that a problem? How can a
regardless, I'd still
config
be
be a
tilted.
problem?
Well,
Uh,
whatever.
PS drops.
So the video file,
Yeah.
apparently there is an issue if you have like the video file and your config file and the auto exec. Sometimes what can happen is that video file like will make it so you get FPS drops. You're better off deleting that and doing it manually. And I think that's the solution. I'm not sure. I don't have a credible source. Well, I do, but I'm not going to name him. Anyway,
Moving on.
moving swiftly on. Complexity, Sean's favorite team.
First of all, what do you think about the J Lake?
Let's do that. Yay or nay to the Jason Lake statement?
I'm gonna go nay.
After thinking about it more.
Yeah, I said yay initially. I'm gonna switch it to
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's.
We'll have
You've
half
got,
and half. Well, kind of half and
seriously,
half.
you've gone with yes. Why do you think it was
I like
good? Okay.
So imagine you're on a team with Jason Lake, right? And he's the owner of your team, and he's at the event with you, right? You're the next team. That pressure is now on you. Like I don't know. That's not.
Well, that's one thing.
That's not like a positive work
I don't
environment.
see a new team coming into, or like a new player coming into complexity and taking this as a pressure on himself too much. Honestly, I don't see that happening. But
I mean,
especially
if he signs the player,
It's
the
like a
best
must,
players
It's
that
a must-win
he's
It's a
environment.
must-win environment.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's what
He
they
literally
want to do,
tweeted
right?
it's a must-win environment.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's also what we thrive for. That's what the top
Yeah.
organizations.
But I
thrive for.
think, well,
And if they don't do that, I think they're making a mistake, in my opinion.
So how much money do you need to buy a team that is going to be able to compete against Astralis?
Let me look how much
I'll
the
put
Dallas
a lot.
Cowboys have.
I'll put it like this.
but they have the money though. They
Dallas
have-
Cowboys
Make
is
a team that could compete.
if they
You think so?
they 100% have the backing. If
Sean
they
is
wanted
the American.
to, they
Tell
definitely
us
have
about the
the money.
Dallas Cowboys.
So who are you buying?
How
You're
big
getting
are the
Coach
Dallas
obviously.
Cowboys?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
They're one of the biggest.
Dallas Cowboys are
that's the
really
thing.
The
But I mean,
top 10 sporting organization in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
let's say
aware.
the money
Barcelona, Real
is
Madrid,
there.
shit
So
like
with that in mind, since the money is there, they can't be happy with a team that goes out
No.
and doesn't even compete
But they-
on this stage.
I think if we talk about the statement as a whole, though, right? Like
That's an emotional
the-
argument, though. It's not a reasonable one.
That's true.
Let me sleep on this and then tweet that in the morning kind of thing. Like, what's the benefit of tweeting that the
Sure.
second?
But
But
also,
again,
it's
it's
something that
super
you already
emotional.
talk with the
Yeah.
players about it or something like that. There is something background we don't know.
Sure.
You also have to take that into account.
But I was also
See,
reading. I was also reading that tweet and thinking to myself, what are you as a player supposed to say? No, boss. I won't. Like you can't say anything. He's just putting them in a corner and basically
Yeah.
punching them in the face. There's nothing they
I
can
think-
do. Nothing they can say. If he wants to
If
tweet
he
that, he's tweeting.
put forward plans that they want to make a team that's going to be the best in the world,
100%.
win a major, then these guys already know before he tweeted this that he's not happy and that
Yeah.
they're going to get kicked. So
I think
what's the deal?
just guessing. I think he's super upset because his expectations were so different than reality.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If
that's
they didn't
like-
hype up the boot camp and probably say they were destroying everyone in
Yeah,
scrims,
exactly.
his expectations would have been low, right? And he would have expected this. But they fucked up his expectations with that interview.
You want to know? You don't want to know what's
Potentially.
even funnier than that? I was speaking to somebody recently
From Tyloo.
from a team that will stay nameless, not a player, and I was talking to them, and they were mentioning Complexity's practice, and they said they were following Complexity's practice, like because obviously I was looking at people I'm Steam friends with and seeing what maps they were playing and scores and stuff, and trying to work out who they were playing, and this would told me that they were monitoring their practice, and in certain games, like for example, I would just say, let's say a Serbian team was playing against them, the score was like 24-4 at one point. Like these weren't even, and this was like apparently pretty consistent. So I don't know if this is like completely true. This
So
is
in
what I've been
favor of
told.
complexity or against?
Against Complexity.
Okay.
Like apparently they were getting destroyed like all the time. That's what I was told, that they were getting absolutely destroyed. So the fact that they came out and said that a good boot camp, maybe what like I don't know, maybe that was
That's how I
just
look at it.
playing games.
Maybe so.
That's a strange one. But so the statement aside, the team is obviously yay or nay. Everyone agree this can't be a team.
No.
This cannot
Not-
be a team.
This cannot be a team.
100%.
The worst thing is they did good signings. I think when they got sick, that was a good signing at that point.
They got
Like,
Obo the same.
They got
thing.
Obo, who's a good signing, but
That
the
was a
team,
great signing.
but the team isn't that great.
Losing Stanislaw was the biggest problem, right? People don't consider. We didn't even get to talk about that on the desk.
I mean,
Def-
it feels like they didn't want to play with him. It's not even like he was poached from them.
Fair enough,
I
but
don't know,
but
yeah.
they come into this tournament as a team for complexity. Let's be honest, it's one of the biggest organizations, or at least it could be. The in-game leader of that team is Def, who have never ever been an in-game leader
Besides ECS.
besides ECS at any big tournament. So
He's like a
of
60
course,
kid on his team.
of course, they're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
What makes him a great in-game leader? From
Yeah.
what I know in
Yeah.
NA, and you can probably attest to that, he's not the type of guy that I would consider an in-game leader by no means. Maybe he is, maybe he can evolve into that. But for now, on a team like Complexity, who have decent expectations, there's
Yeah.
no way that was ever going to succeed. So people's expectation for Complexity, they were going to go 0-3. Like I was surprised they even won a match.
Okay, so knowing that
Secret.
they know this team will not stay as it is, do we think, or not do we think, do you think, this is for all of you, do you think they should keep any members of the team, yay or nay?
Any members of the team?
Any members of the team?
Any members.
Fuck yeah.
I think start again. I think first of all, Complexity are going to want they're going to want an American team, right? Or a team living in America.
Yes.
How much money would it cost for you to live in North America full time? Like if it's something ridiculous, like if you think that you would need, I don't know, 20,000 euros to be in America full time, like you could just say that, that's fine. My point here is, when I've seen Europeans get asked to go to America before, it has to be under the basis of a shitload of money. Because no offense to your beautiful country, but it's not home for these guys. And I know that when you're dealing with kids, they're going to miss home. Because I dealt with kids who missed home. And I didn't know how to make them not miss home because I didn't give a fuck about home. So personally, I know there's more support now, but you need people equipped to be able to help these guys because they're young kids.
I mean, I think you're right about that, like the homesickness, what you want to call it. I think that's a major problem. But as you see, there's teams now, they're traveling all the time anyway. So
it's true.
So how much are they actually staying in America in the end? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they should keep a guy like Obo. I think he's really interesting. Yeah. Build a team, maybe try and get some European players if they want to or whatever. Jacob, you get the free.
What would you like to say?
If you have as much money as Complexity has, and you want to keep a guy like Obu, then do that, but make it an academy team. Make it a talent foster home for a guy like him. That'll be the thing. If you come out publicly saying, like Jason Lake did, that he wants a top team, he wants the best in the West. Obu is, let's be honest, he's probably a great talent. It's not even sure he's going to be good enough, but no way he's going to be near that level. You're going to buy Cold Zero. You're going to poach a shit ton of players from, even going to go to Liquid and ask, how much money to get Netflight. We know that there was rumors, around Netflight at a certain point that he didn't want to be in Liquid for whatever reason. Obviously, now that they're winning everything, he wants to. But as soon as they start losing and they're not the best team in the world anymore, well, maybe those feeling comes up once again. So if you're Jason Lake, you're going to do a lot of groundwork. You're going to get a Cold Zero. You're going to get a Netflight. You're going to get some very, sound and fundamental players, and you're going to be one of the best teams in the world. Obo, Stanislaw, he's gone now, right? Shazam, he's not going to be there. Def is never going to be there. None of these players are good enough to even be a top 10 team in the world, so that's not going to.
So let's talk about this because you and I were discussing this, and you were kind of theory crafting a North American team.
Yeah.
What was that team? Who would you keep, and what would you build around a team? Because let's hear this and let's all react because we'll decide if that's what Jason Lake would be looking for as a squad, right?
So the problem with the whole squad is that you're not going to find the necessary in-game leader. You need a leader. You can't have a passive personality that's just picking it up as a rifler.
Sure.
I don't know what they're going to do in that regard. I think they could keep Shazam. They could keep Obo. They add another young talent, someone like Floppy or someone in the NA scene, and honestly, they could have another younger talent, and they could literally build a team that's going to be around a year from now and be pretty good. They're going to be really good, actually.
They just need a leader of men then, right? Yeah. They would need somebody to actually lead these individuals.
I don't think you need older, experienced players. You just need a very good in-game leader that can actually lead, someone like Zeus or something,
Yeah.
That will literally enforce a system, or Kerrigan, for example.
I'll give you a name. MSL is playing in Optic right now. They're going nowhere.
MSL.
Yeah.
So he can go back in 2 months again.
MSL will never come back, but that's a perfect example.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll live in. This is the thing. I heard a rumor that 100 Thieves were going to buy Optic, but Optic didn't want to live in North America.
Sure, it's true.
So
because they're a Danish team. MSL were willing to go from North to play for Rogue, who at the time were a shit team, and he made them decent. He was willing to do that for a substantial amount of money. If Complexity were to offer him that same amount of money or even more, he'd go back and do the same thing.
I doubt that 100 Thieves, the money was an issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You think about people in that team, I don't think Config's someone who would do well from home for very long. No one Config.
He already did it, and KGB is also there now.
Yeah, it's impossible to force a team that has a full Danish roster in order to move
to. It would also be silly to do it.
Yeah,
that would make no sense.
It's only PR-wise.
Okay, so I guess with Complexity.
So who are you going to pick up as an in-game leader, regardless of what you do?
Yeah,
that is the true problem.
Especially
NA. Not coming to NA. That's not even an option. There's no way you're prying him.
I mean,
so Alexi B is now on the market. That's the hottest.
You're never going to get him to NA. I just don't think
I don't know about him particularly. I guess we've seen players do it for quite a long period of time. I'm going to throw Cirque out there, which is obviously a little bit of a different scenario, but he's been there for what, a year and a half now, 2 years almost.
He was 16. He literally did say that he he feels like it's his second home, like
Yeah.
almost first home.
So there definitely are players who are capable of making that a full transition. If it's somebody like Alexei, who's now 24, 23,
I think he's 21 or something.
Even
He's still pretty young.
he's still pretty young.
Yeah, I think he's like
I feel like he's like 23, 4, but maybe I'm
But
wrong.
I don't think like the young age thing is a problem.
Well,
in like
in a
22
sense.
like Frozen is actually a perfect example of that.
Sure.
What is he, 17?
No, but I mean,
Probably
with-
he just turned 17.
But I mean,
Like Obo being 16 isn't a big deal.
I think
no,
in a
I
sense
think,
of
like, they can be
moving.
good, but you also have to have the foundation behind it. The Kerrigan does that very well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what
What
I
is
like
it?
your thought
22.
about being
22.
like taking these young players and complexity and stuff, but then you don't have this top tier team right away like he
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
how much,
if he wants
how much to
that-
get you on the team as an in-game player?
but that's the thing,
How
right?
much?
Because
What's it going to take, Jay?
to live, no,
I'll be the
no,
coach.
I would not go live in Dallas. You'll be the coach.
I'm not
living in Dallas.
Give me a
based
number,
off,
Chad.
based off recent events in my life, I will not be living in Dallas.
I was just about to say.
You would have to probably pay.
Fun.
You'd probably have to pay me something like 25 to 30,000 euros a month to live in Dallas. That's
let-
how much money we're talking
Let's
about.
be honest, right? Because it
Me
works
too
like
as
in
a coach. So that's the team.
it works like in any other sport, right? If you go out in your complexity and you're buying a cold zero, then that cold zero player and that stigma that you get around your team, that's attraction power to all other players that
That's
potentially
true.
want to
Yeah,
come to that
that's
team,
true.
right? So if you're buying cold zero, you get them down on a contract, which probably is going to be hard without knowing what the team is going to be, but you can attract so many good people around him because people want to play with a cold zero. People want to be part of that team and part of that vision. So even a guy like Hunter from Crazy, for example, I assume they don't earn a lot of money. So if somebody's going to come in and offer him $30,000 a month in order to play with Cold Zero and live in Dallas, well, that's probably a good pickup for him as well. And he's a bright talent within the scene as well. So there's
Potentially,
many
yeah.
options to go there, but it needs a lot of groundwork, a lot of scouting, a lot of thought process within it. But it's possible if you want to. But
And a lot of
nobody
money.
from the current complexity team is good enough to be there.
But actually, they should buy like a guy like Nixon.
There you go, another
That
option.
guy
Yeah.
is really freaking good.
Yeah.
He's super good.
Oh my god.
I think
His challenger stage was eye-opening.
he had it in
But
some
he's
of the
been
most
playing like
impact.
that for like the
A long time.
You can
I
just
don't know.
see see that he's the only one who doesn't make all the simple mistakes that all the new players make. Like you see Hunter, over peaking,
Yeah.
doing stupid stuff in 2v1s and stuff like that. These little things that they will learn in maybe like a year or something. But he's already there. Like he's already at a point where he's a complete player.
What do you
Like that's so sick.
What do you guys think about this? Jacob talking a lot about Cold Zero, right? He's obviously on the market. So let's say Jason bought Cold Zero. We're just talking about Furia. Like we know they've just signed for 2 years, and their buyouts are probably going to be 5 years. So
5 years.
yeah, but we know their buyouts fucking hell.
There you go. No,
thing is-
let's move on from here because we know what.
Anyway, let's say like Yuri and Quesarado, or Yuri and Vinny, or Yuri and Art.
Art, yeah.
Yeah, let's say they were available, right? Okay, so now you got Art in game leading, you've got Cold Zero, and you've got Yuri. Okay, so now we've got 3 guys here who we know can frag,
Yeah.
right? Well, there's so many Brazilian teams that I'm certain that they could grab some decent players to fill those last 2 roles. Like,
Sure.
what you have the aggressive Orpa, you've got Cold Zero and Yuri who are more of the the passive types. You're
Yeah.
looking for, you could even,
I don't think
as
Yuri's
much as
you think Yuri's passive?
no, I fucked up. I confused Yuri with the
Quesarado.
other. Yeah,
Quesarado, yeah.
that's the one. But I think when you look at this and you think about that, maybe Brazil's not a bad option because they already go up and live in North America anyway, and with Cold Zero available, it would be a really good starting point.
Sure.
I don't know about 5 players. It's hard. I mean, MIBR has had difficulties finding players. Even like lower teams like Sharks now picked up 2 Argentinian players
Oh, geez.
just because but 2 good Argentinian players, but still,
Sure.
they are moving out of their comfort zone to find talent, right?
I feel like there's a lot of talent in Brazil. Like Team 1, INTZ.
the thing is, like, their
Luminosity,
statistically
MIBR.
best players are like guys that have been around for like 3-4 years, like
Yeah.
IDK, like Maluk and stuff. Maluk is like 28 or something.
Okay,
So
they're not
those
young.
you're not going to
Yeah.
be picking up those players,
What
right?
Just
happened?
TRK.
What happened to Luminosity?
Yeah,
as
what
well?
happened to TRK?
Steele,
He's kind of
Henny,
okay.
They're done.
Steel, Henny, Bolts.
And he's gone.
I
He
mean,
left.
yeah,
And he
he's
just
gone
got
out of the team.
benched,
Right? They're
Yeah.
good players. They're
That
supposed to be good
luminosity
players.
team is just like
like
But
2
I
years
think,
ago.
doing
I think that there's too much history there in terms of like how much
Probably.
they actually put into the game and stuff like
Get
that.
that out of the way and just
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna. But just going to round this out, going back to the to moving on over to North America, I think it's actually easier for a younger player to do it, just because you're not rooted into whatever family or whatever it is.
it's a
It's
social-
much easier for a guy like Cirque who moved in when he was like 17.
yeah.
He's like 19,
16
20 now,
I think.
right? He's like 19 now, I think, or something like that. But he's below 20 now.
Sure. So that's
So-
like
almost all he knows with his
Exactly. Like
adults
he moved as a young
years.
as a kid basically
Yeah.
still. So it was like for him to move over was just an easier. But obviously, if it's an in-game leader you're looking for, he's not going to be that young. So
Yeah.
Unless you're going for like an LXCB who you
Yeah.
said was 22,
But I
which
mean,
is
like, is he a
still
leader, though?
quite young. Sorry.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's a reason why he's not an ends.
Sure.
So put him with Coldzera. Is that going to work, right?
But
Yeah,
I
because
think
if you don't
like
have a
a thin
leader,
flash.
like I would say Kerrigan is really, really good because he's good at leading.
Yeah.
He's a really good leader. Everyone believes in the project.
I
Everyone
think-
believe whatever he does.
I don't know how much you know Alexei, but like from my talks with him and like even from interviews, but even outside of it, I felt like I was surprised at his qualities as a leader, just from his mannerisms and stuff like that. I just felt like I was talking to somebody who's used to moving.
Like,
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's
he's
just
the
like
leader
it was just down to like flashes and ends that kind of made him move away because there was just somebody, like other people that had a different idea. So yeah.
All right,
That's
we're gonna
kind of-
go to the good because we could talk
Yeah,
about
sure,
complexity and
sure.
what dream roster we could build forever. We got the good.
I don't know. I lost the tab. Give me a second.
It's fine. Lucas could do it anyway. We'll go to the good. So the good.
Well, North Mouse Sports, pretty obvious.
I think the North Mouse Sports one pretty easy to summarize. I think North had moments where they looked a little bit shaky.
I would say Mouse Sports have a moment where they look a little bit shaky.
Really?
Yeah, you guys could have lost the G2.
I guess yeah, there was a couple of times.
Yeah, you should have.
How did
lost
you
the
feel
G2
after
basically.
going 3-0? I know you're 3-0 and that was, a good thing, but did you feel that you're playing up to your best?
No, not at all. I mean, like we showed
I felt
some
that
of
too.
it, like in the end.
Mm.
I would say on those two T side, and also vertical, of course.
Sure. Here's a question about that. Do you think you've shown that too early?
Vertical?
Yeah.
No.
Because what you've done is you've scared teams
No, I
who
think
are on the
it's.
fence.
I think it's the other way now.
They've scared teams who are on the
Yeah.
fence, but they've also shown teams who want to play at what they do. I'm
Yeah.
assuming you have lots more because you didn't need to do a very big game plan. But like your B lobby take on your CT side, for example, like someone could work out a way to counter that. Like the way to counter that would be dropping a smoke on your mollies and throwing flashes through that window because your two players are facing.
So
and
wait,
then-
we don't know. Is it meta the stuff
Give
you're
me another
doing?
good idea.
Is it?
I have no idea what.
I'm giving people ideas on how to counter
He
strategy.
comes on the show. You have to strat his team
Yeah,
live.
right?
Like, what the fuck?
When you play teams in scrims on Vertigo, are they doing similar stuff to you?
Yeah, we're trying like a lot of things. I think we played very unique compared to.
Oh,
to
so you guys
other
are playing, like,
teams.
unique.
Like, at least that's my experience. Like how
Okay.
we approach vertical, how
Okay.
we take it in.
So I think they scared teams off.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's. I think you could counter it like that, but we also have tried that in practice, so we know what to
Counter
pre-counter. you know?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
counter that.
it's hard to say like if we showed it too early or not. Like the question was if we should play nuke instead, and they were a pretty good nuke team.
Yeah.
Too also.
Yeah.
So we just felt like okay, if we are 2-0, we can afford a loss. Let's try the vertical.
Just quickly on Vertigo, right? There's no secret you love Vertigo,
I
and you
fucking
want to
love it.
see
It's,
way more Vertigo. Is
I
there
love
any
it also. I
is
mean,
there any
I think
teams-
it's so good, man.
is there any
so
teams
good.
coming in now to the stage that you know is going to be playing Vertigo, like maybe from practice? Astralis,
I
Liquid.
think they're gonna play it, yeah. But I'm not. That's
Well,
of course,
Liquid played. We
because,
know Astralis played. We know
Yeah.
that.
Sure,
Like,
but like
for
how much
me,
practice?
it's like the question is, are they willing to pick it or not?
Yeah.
Because
I think
that's
you
the
scared them
question.
off now, and that's just going to play in your favor. Just
I mean,
because.
also it's one
Not against
map.
them, but just in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one map, and I don't think you can take much away because, also, like you said, Chad, like we basically did nothing as T. We just walked around and killed people. And
Yeah.
that's-
You guys did win a few clutches too.
That's true.
yeah, like
Couple
the
runs
front
with
line
clutches
and
as well.
stuff like that.
Kerrigan.
I mean, like, so I think like it doesn't really. There's so little data on it right now.
Yeah.
So I think it doesn't matter
Okay.
Sure.
because people is gonna come in prepared.
So
North.
yeah, North. Do we feel that North?
I think North is shaky as fuck.
Okay.
You do?
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
mean, they
sold.
barely
Their
survived that
T-side, I
crazy
said it
game.
on the
No, the
desk.
T side. No. I agree with that.
I'm not convinced.
They just have.
Did you see
they're
anything
just-
change in the last 2 months on North T side, like Valda T side?
I don't remember what I saw.
Okay.
I'm
it
a
was-
child.
it
I
was-
don't remember what happened last week.
No, but yeah.
Like,
But it was
I
always-
think they had some pretty cool tactics actually. But
Yeah, tactics
that's-
are one
yeah,
thing,
that's
the-
but like
that's
map
one thing,
control,
They
like
made some
playing
real
together,
dumb
changing
I
up
actually
things.
thought they didn't take map control a lot on training,
Yeah, that's-
especially.
I
Like,
mean,
they
they
weren't
do-
even
they do-
taking
they
Bramble.
do-
They would just do 5-man main execs.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's the same thing. That is when I saw Valda's T sides first. Like, okay, they're doing executes.
Yeah.
They're doing executes. This another execute.
Yeah.
They're like a bit later in the round.
Yeah.
So this is a fast execute. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Just executes all the
North,
time.
North is making playoff.
Okay. Why do you say that?
But I think they're good. I think they're
Oh.
actually getting decent. I think Valden needed time in order to and not even that much Valde, right? I think a lot of the calling is coming from Meffel, like the coach. I think he does a lot of groundwork.
That CT side's really fucking
That's
good.
why
Yeah, CTs are insane.
CT sides are really fucking good.
Yeah, that's the thing though, and I think what North always have needed is their players to step up. You know, they need Cabby to play like Cabby. They need Icy to play like Icy, and I think I'm seeing a little bit of that now. They're getting the confidence back, and I think North is a team that's been down for a long time. It's been a year and a half ever since they really did something good, right? They won that Malmö tournament and then kicked themselves straight after, so that wasn't really a positive thing either. But finally now I get the sense that they're actually confident in what they're doing, and they have a sort of like you guys have in Mouse Sports. They have Valde who they believe in. They have a coach who they believe in.
He looks like somebody with
he's
leadership
definitely,
qualities.
That's the thing, right? That gives them confidence. That gives Cabby confidence in order to play well. He was the
And what do you
third
think
highest
about the
rated.
map pool then? Because I think they
That's
will
the thing,
struggle.
yeah.
They will struggle there.
Good thing for them, they have 2 best of 1s to win, potentially. And then they only have to win 1 best of 3.
They could tweak the stuff for the best of 3s, I guess.
They're playing Vitality in the first round, by the way.
Which
Just
should
gonna
be a
throw it out
win.
there.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
But I mean, like also, I
Nice.
think like they look very shaky against Crazy also. And not, like Crazy also played a
That was a
really
great
good
series,
It was a
though.
really
That was
good
a really
Crazy
good
should have
series.
won that series.
Crazy should have won
say
that.
that.
Let's be
I was
honest.
laying him a bit.
There were like 3 points where they
They
just
were
should have won
like
around.
they had a match point in overtime.
15-10. They had a match.
like,
They had oh yeah, 3v2 on B. I remember that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
15-10 on Inferno,
There was-
then
Then they
And
had
they
the
had-
second overtime in their hands. That's that round.
Yeah.
North made some
then-
massive
and
blunders.
then Train as well.
And
It was
North lost the third overtime.
They
It
had
went
like
more-
four
Jesus
players
Christ.
on
Right.
B.
That was the same thing. It
That
was
was
3v2
so
on B as
bad.
well.
That was like nightmare
I
mode.
mean,
but-
like
but,
for me,
yeah.
I don't see them hit playoffs next.
Okay.
I see them actually maybe even going 0-3.
Holy shit. Okay.
Like it's
Dane
not,
on Dane.
I
Alright.
love the guys. They're and I hope they're gonna make it. I hope they're gonna make it.
Okay.
But I think they're gonna be 0-3.
I think they're
So you better hope you don't run into it. That's so much fuel.
I mean, like, there's nothing taking away from
All
it.
these gonna be
and
up
I
like
hope, like I said, I
fucking
hope
30 hours
they're gonna
anti-shine you.
Look, I'm just gonna say one thing. I think their biggest problem, outside of just their T size just generally lacking, is the fact that I think Valde has a big problem adapting, because we've just seen. I mean, I guess they kind of goes hand in hand, but he's just like when the opponent just gives like I don't know 5 to 8 rounds in a row, he just clearly doesn't know like how to adapt and what to change about the game. He's just having problems against momentum.
Mid-round calling, I think, is the hardest calling.
Yes.
Like making
But
a
it's not just
strategy.
mid-round, but it's just like figuring out where they're actually struggling, what the problem is.
Yeah. So
It's just like as long as his tactics are working, it looks okay.
Yeah.
But as long as like the opponent's figured out how to counter it, that's where Valde is having problems.
I mean, like, I would go this far and say if they can activate Yugi, I think you have a great North team.
What do you feel about Yugi, Chad?
I really have been
exactly
a Yugi
like
fan
Mark pointed out.
the entire time. I was a Yugi fan,
Yeah,
right? I was
yeah.
always a Yugi fan, and I thought like when I saw him, like obviously online, he was very quick and had a lot of impact, but he hasn't ever recovered since he took that time off when he was in heroic. When he took that time and he went to the bench or whatever it was because for whatever issues, health issues. Since he's come back, he's never been himself. And now in this team isn't built around an AWPer. North has never been built around an AWPer.
Yeah.
Dignitas never been built around an AWPer. So that means like AZ, Kirby, obviously Valde with his time with MSL. These guys haven't learned what you need to do to facilitate an AWPer. You need someone, they need to get like a coach in just to facilitate Yugi. I remember when JDM was on that Liquid roster and he was finding no impact. Zeus came up with all these new picks for JDM to get kills. And this guy's out here doing everything he possibly can so JDM can get kills. Nading open Squeaky, doing the fucking geeky boost outside on Nuke and all this stuff.
It was fun.
Giving JDM all these opportunities to find kills. That's what you have to do to get an AWPer like that confident. And then they can start making their own plays. So they need to come up with a few moves to give Yugi confidence and then let that kid fucking shine because he's got the talent.
I mean, when I first saw him, that was back in 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, okay, this is gonna be the new shit, you know.
Yeah,
he was
I thought so
fucking
too.
good.
2 years ago, everybody thought he was going to be the next big thing. in Denmark.
Yeah, but he
100%.
was that good. When I saw him play, like it's like holy fuck, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I don't know what happened, but the way they don't utilize him at all. And I think it was the same in heroic, like when he switched there.
Yeah, Heroic was a weird one, right? Because like they didn't when they had Snappy, it felt like they were too structured, and then since when they changed it, it felt like then they went really loose. So I don't know. Heroic was. I think they're doing better now. They went loose, and now they're adding back in the structure and stuff. But we're going to keep moving because we're chomping through the
45,
time here. What was the next topic?
the next topic.
I'm just gonna
we
throw
got
out
Dream
G2
Eaters.
just for a second.
Oh,
because
they're making part of the good. Sorry, I meant,
Yeah.
do you have another name in the?
No, I was just gonna throw out G2 just because the first two rounds, basically, well, obviously they didn't really play any great teams because they played
Dream
Kylo
Eaters.
and Dream Eaters, yeah. But then again, Dream Eaters then
They're
kind
good
of
team, yeah.
proved that they were
Yeah.
actually a really solid
And they
team.
also got them on overpass, which is the
But
best map.
basically, before your series, I thought G2 looked like a playoffs team, like immediately, because they looked like the most ready for this. They weren't looking shaky at all in any sort of situations. Sure, they had like real funky rounds, but it wasn't like a consistent problem. I just thought that they were really solid.
And
They have three performers.
we
They have
gotta remember,
Jax, Kenny, and Shock. Right?
Yeah.
we gotta
100%.
remember as well. They're 11-4 up
I
against
mean,
you guys
like
on the second map, right?
they destroyed us in training.
it's a
They
pistol
played
round.
really,
Yeah.
really well.
Up to that 1-11-4, I thought they were just looking so great, and then they threw away that and lost the series, and then had problems against.
So
Crazy.
then maybe
Who
we
did they
can
play?
talk about them in the light of, yeah, sure, we saw positive things, but maybe the map pool's an issue, like what you were saying for North, right? Because we saw good things on maps they're comfortable on,
True.
but when it starts to get to maps that are a bit,
I think it's just more to their mentality, like the French mentality of maybe letting go too loose and playing just loose in the game, you know. And Kenny tried to explain that in the post match using some weird phrases like snowballing and stuff like that. But I think what he's trying to say is like, they're just having fun, fucking around a bit too much, and then things start going wrong and people make the comeback, right?
Yeah.
And that happened against Small Sports, and who did they play in the last game? There was also like a comeback attempt, but
That's what I was. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
They closed it out somehow. I don't remember.
Nah.
No, fours.
Fours, yeah. Because that was also like 11-4.
oh yeah, the Sexy Power and Kenny on Dust 2,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
That game
the
was
same
a
thing.
massive
They
comeback.
closed out that
Their
Dust
CT
2
Dust 2.
four
Just
with
G2.
us.
Horrible.
Their Dust 2 would be so fucking good if they had
But they were always good on CT side, but like that just went away.
So freaking random, I would say. Like, then you just gamble one time wrong, your money gets fucked, and it's just so hard to play. You know, I would say.
It's just so easy to get split up on that map.
Yeah.
It's just so
If your
hard to
rotation's not
overcome.
100% on point, like you can even stack and stuff and it goes wrong. Like we did that against U2 and they just rushed B apparently.
Yeah.
It's a strong weapon.
Well, that's the thing. That's how Simon beat Vitality in that opening game as well, right? They just did gamble stacks. Like they leaned A for the first like 3 or 4 rounds with 4 players, and then they stacked 3 guys B, and then they went mid to B, right?
Yeah.
So they just made like the reads, and then Vitality were chasing their tail for the rest of that game. So yeah, G2. I think if they play like they did on Overpass on all the other maps, right, then they're a legit contender.
Also,
for the
well, as
I
long as
really
they
like
fix
their training.
CTs.
the train.
Like their train, the way they played against us, it was completely new compared to when they played before. I don't know when they last played it, I can't remember. But they changed a lot and they played it really nice. Yeah. I think there was.
They didn't really show much on their T side either.
Yeah, they didn't have to. 14-1 or 32.
Dream Eaters is the next one?
Of course.
Okay, so Dream Eaters is an
it's pretty
interesting
much the
one.
last one.
Obviously, it was a surprise.
Yeah.
Did anybody here think that they were going to beat Force? Raise your hand. No.
Like,
I gave
there was
them like
always a chance.
40%. I gave
just
them like
because
40%.
the CIS matchup. You know?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that just shows like how many upset games. Every single game they won was an upset, right?
Yeah.
Like
I would say Force is not really an upset. Like it's 50-50. It's like domestic teams are playing.
Yeah.
It can be hard, and I would actually say it almost a coin toss. You know.
okay, I think
Also that like based on before, obviously Dream Eaters beat both Energy and Vitality.
yes.
So based on that alone, I
big
was
ones.
like they obviously you should have expected them to kind of have a really good chance against Force.
Okay.
I think we're basing that on what we saw at the minor as well, right? Because what we saw at the minor, Force was by far the best.
But they
CS team.
didn't play Dream Eaters. That's
I
the
know,
only team that
but that's because Dream Eaters sucked at that minor, right? They weren't really good.
Yeah.
They got by a little bit scrappy,
That's
but
fair enough.
we were literally sitting there, at least I was sitting there at the CS minor and thinking to myself, all right, these teams are not good teams, and whoever gets by here besides Force are gonna struggle massively.
Yeah.
They didn't, so nice play for them, Simon and Dream Eaters obviously, but Force was the only team that gave me a feeling that they could actually win games here at the major. Like they could potentially go to the next stage, and they were the one who wasn't really. They were close, right? But they didn't get it done. So there was a loss to was it Avangard in the deciding match, which is a team that is not really highly praised right now. So
Yeah. Well, I think if we look at Dream Eaters and the fact those 2 best of ones that they won were against top tier opponents, even though Vitality did start not necessarily with the strongest tournament, they're still massive victories, right? Those are still huge victories. So when you put that in context and they have to play Astralis in the first game, I don't think they're going to win.
No.
But if they can play with the same poise like that they did, they can be competitive.
Look, we saw after the last break, we saw North destroying Astralis on Dust 2 or whatever that was.
True. Oh yeah.
16-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
So
dude.
like I wouldn't completely put it past Astralis or any team that's coming into
But
the next
technically,
stage to
Astralis-
just lose their first match.
technically,
before they get
Astralis
their
have been
shit
on
Do
a
you
break
favor
for-
the challengers who played for like the last
We
week
should.
in the
We
tournament
have to.
settings?
Honestly, we
I kinda
have to.
do.
Most
It's
of
just
them.
they know the environment, right?
We've
That's
seen
a
this
big
the
advantage.
last
I
two
would
majors
agree.
happen the same way. Like
Yeah.
after the break,
Yeah.
even after
Yeah.
the January one, at the E-League major,
Yeah.
then at the Faces major as well. Like teams came in, kind of rusty. We just
Yeah.
saw the same thing happening at the last three majors. That the challengers just had won more matches than the Legends.
And there's also the fact that some of these legends aren't that legendary
dilapidated,
compared,
yeah.
especially roster changes and all of that. So.
Who was the highlight? We'll go down the road here. You can say why. Who was the highlight player for you from Dream? Let's start with you, Pro.
I guess Krod probably. He was like kind of the star player on paper, at least for the team, but he's not like XE power level star. So
Sure.
I guess he was.
Okay.
You warped my mind. I'm gonna say Svea.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Yeah,
it for
yeah.
a while.
Well, the reason I say that is because to see someone as poised as him as an in-game leader and stay really calm. Like, remember that Cat play where they smoked out Cat and he just
Yeah,
goes.
that was sick.
There was just these situations where it was like he's having to call for his team, like knowing that he's the in-game leader and he's still focusing and he's partially deaf in one
Yeah,
ear.
yeah.
And he's still like so focused and he makes so many impact plays.
Yeah.
For me, I know he's not the guy who's going to win them the game necessarily with the frags, but the impact he has is what's going to turn the tide.
He does a lot of like entry work as well, and fully selfless, no fear,
Yeah.
running through smokes things, and gets like 2 kills sometimes, and that's instant round. Sometimes he just dies, and he's not going to have good stats. But he's an impact player, definitely.
Who's still out for you, Jacob? Anyone? You just like the team?
Say Forrester, maybe.
Okay,
I think he was
Forrester.
pretty
He's
solid.
an anchor player for them.
He's
Yeah.
the anchor player. He reminds me of Almacer a little bit.
Okay.
And I think he did very good from Force as well.
Yeah, he played off his teammates very well.
Exactly. So I think he's very solid. I think that just as a team, they're fundamentally sound and they set each other up well, right? So he was having a good tournament as well. Grad as well. I think he was good.
Anyone still
Yeah.
out to you?
Honestly, their whole team just
Yeah.
like played off of each other really well. Like I don't think one person is like a star player on that team.
Sure. You in the same boat?
Yeah, I was saying, bro. Like I cannot really say one player or another. I think they played some good season.
Which can't really be said about any teams, kind of. Like there's not a single star player on the team.
Simple, Zywoo, I can keep going.
Yeah, but like they don't have a team with no stars. Like what other teams in the world are there that exist that doesn't have a star player?
Oh, I guess you could argue like Ents. Like obviously
I mean,
Sergey and
maybe, yeah.
Alu have the higher
Yeah.
skill ceilings of everybody, but they don't go in and like light the
Sure.
server up in the same
Yeah.
way, right? I guess. And there's also quite a few like Danish teams, like Optic, for example. Even though like Config is probably the guy getting the majority line share
Sure.
of frags. they're
I'll buy
still
you.
doing
I'll buy you ends. That's good enough.
Okay, well, one example is more than enough. What's our next topic?
I think we need to do the pick'ems.
Let's do the pick'ems. We're gonna do it there.
I don't know how. I think Lucas will do it, and we'll just watch
On his
the.
thing, yeah.
Well, we don't know what the pick'ems look like, right? So we can leave we'll get Lucas to bring that. We can start talking about this now, and I
Yeah.
think we've already have a pretty good indication.
Did you mess with the matchup calculator? I'm gonna say this before we start. Did you mess
No.
with it at all?
No?
What do you mean?
Like
But you played with it?
I played with it a little bit.
Oh dear.
To see how it goes after
Yes.
the initial things.
So N starts off against Avangard, right?
Mhm.
If you pick like the favorites to win the first
You're
game,
throwing Fury on the ground.
That's right, leave him there.
Jesus Christ, that was the bad
again?
one.
Okay.
Can you do it
Oh
again
my
now?
God.
Of both of them.
There's like a high likelihood Ents plays like NIP in the second round or MIBR. And they can win that as well. That
Yes.
puts them at 2-0. And Ents is like one of those borderline teams right now where like I don't know if I want to put them in. You said they're practicing with Sunny.
So Sonny put a video on
Oh,
his
yeah.
Instagram the other
Yeah.
day, sitting next to Alu and the
Yeah.
whole team, and they were practicing. Now,
I mean, we don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're just watching YouTube videos.
yeah,
But
maybe, probably not. But as well, like Daps, well, Stan went over with NRG to Montpellier and practiced with the team while Daps just sat there playing deathmatch, right?
Yeah.
So if this is a similar situation where they know they have the practice facility and they can bring Sonny with them and they can get, almost 2 weeks worth of practice to kick off the tournaments that come. They got Moscow pretty much straight after this.
True. Yeah.
So you're going to want to be on form. It's an advisable decision, right? And if they're happy, they're clearly happy to not use him for the major. And if they don't qualify, they would be one of the stronger teams you'd expect to go through the minors all over again if they don't win a single map. it's not a horrible place for them to be. So may as well just use fucking Sun.
I think they're very dangerous. I think they're
we don't
good team, right?
I
It's not
just
like it's
wanted to show the pick'ems
Sure.
are on the screen.
It's not
but
a-
they're not.
it's not a team that's gonna bow out, 0-3. Like
You think they'll win again?
They'll win again for sure. They'll win in 2 even. And I think
They'll
also,
definitely win too.
I also think they're gonna make the
I think they'll win
playoffs.
too.
I think we're talking about still, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to think about Alexi B's situation, right? He's as Depth where he's playing for his contract. Like he's playing for his new home. He's playing to show off for
Yeah, I don't know
potential
about all that.
C9.
The in-game leader is literally potentially playing for stats, like to show like.
I
the
don't-
next
But that's
guy.
I don't think he'll call
You don't even.
anything.
Yeah, he probably won't even call. Like,
he will.
that is like
It's a major.
I think
It's
he'll
a major.
call.
He
No,
will.
but,
think
but
I-
considering we were expecting Alu to take over
If
in-game league, right?
If I was an in-game leader that my team just kicked me from,
I would-
I'm
That's a
looking for
good-
a new
that's a
home.
good point,
I might
though, yeah.
call.
I definitely-
I'm not
so
why
calling
would-
new
why
shit.
would he
No,
do that? Why would he
Full
do
old
that?
shit.
I'm
Why would he
definitely
do it?
calling old
But
shit.
won't you
No
also-
new shit.
Like, I kind of disagree there. He should go in and show how good he is.
But
my
that's
idea.
different from
Yeah.
calling well, because if you're an
yeah.
in-game leader and you go in and you don't, no, if I was an in-game leader, I could go in
Yeah.
and I could do selfish strategy, so I look fucking sick. I could do that.
Striker had a good
Yeah.
point here.
Sorry, Striker.
Well, it was just that we were expecting Alu to take over after Alexi's gone, right?
Yes.
I think that's the majority
So you
that,
think
that
that
we.
he'll call now?
So I think he'll just
Should be.
call now. Why?
I
Why
think he
would
called in the
So-
past as well.
Are you confident in his first tournament being the legend stage of this?
That's the
major?
problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. But they played two. They could start off with like two very winnable matches.
Okay.
I think it depends on like how the team operates and like what kind of, if there's any bad blood at all
Yeah.
between those two, because like obviously there were some clashes between them. Otherwise, Alexi wouldn't have been out of the door. So unless they just kind of got over it and said, yeah, okay, it makes more sense for you to keep doing this, and we just start new shit when you're gone,
Sure.
and then it will make a lot of sense for Alexi to just keep calling, because it would just they could just like play all of the old shit like
Yeah.
you were saying. So for Al to come in, obviously it's a risk, but I could see that happening as well. So I think that like wherever that swings, I think that's going to tell us a lot.
Okay, so let's do this, because Sean played with this and he knows that potentially Ents might get some easier matchups to go through.
And who has this
Festival.
Cheetah.
Their first match is Ents versus
Nord,
yeah.
Avangard, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a high probability that they could still win that, even though they're changing a player coming out of this. Because Avangard didn't look great. They slowly warmed into the tournament, but they didn't look great.
They
So-
are really hit and miss, I think, I feel like.
yeah, so let's start with, because we'll leave the 3-0 and the 0-3.
Yeah.
Let's just start with names that I think we can all very happily say: Navi, Astralis, and Liquid.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
we all.
I'm looking at you because obviously you practice some of these teams.
I mean,
So I was seeing
Navi's
if I
the one-
We actually practiced none of them.
Oh, really?
I guess.
But I totally agree.
Okay.
I think Navi's
How is
going to
that
go
possible?
deep in the tournament, but
Is
we
it
don't
just,
know,
like,
right? They've had like
schedule-wise, or-
13
Yeah.
maps in the last 3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they didn't make it to Pro League finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they're literally just like a black box. Like we have no idea about
Navi?
Navi right now.
Yeah, so we're taking a gamble.
they
on
start
Simple
against
Electronic.
G2?
Yes, 100%.
Navi
Yes.
starts against G2. That's their first game. G2 looking pretty decent, right?
Yeah,
I
Navi
wouldn't
normally
put it
lose.
past.
The
that
first
could
game.
fuck up the entire thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How-
It's
what
like
happened?
Elo-wise.
Because like not so if Navi wins, right? It really depends on like if these guys win, if Navi wins. Those are like key.
Oh, we
things.
could have some real
those are like
harsh
the two,
0-2s. So Navi normally, I think I did some stats at the Cato Major about Navi in opening games, right? I forget them now, but I
No, it's
went,
pretty bad. Yeah.
yeah, it was
Jesus.
abysmal. I
But
think they'd
they're
won
also
like
famous for it. No?
yeah, but surely now they've fixed it. They've been doing fucking yoga outside, blades there. I don't know. They get massages and shit. Boom. Surely it doesn't happen. Surely.
But I mean, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen in Cologne. Yeah.
It's true.
They didn't lose the
Okay.
first game in Cologne.
So we'll stick with that. That's our first three. I'm going to say
Yeah.
Mouse Sports.
I'm gonna say energy.
So just
Okay.
to,
I'm
yeah,
gonna say energy.
Astralis, Liquid, Navi, we have it in.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the pickings now.
So Sean and I both just said two names: Mouse Sports and NRG. Does anybody disagree with either of those?
I'm on the fence with energy,
Okay. Why?
just because I still don't. I'm not sold on Stan. Still,
really.
I feel like he's
After
still.
the boot camp, they looked pretty goddamn good last stage.
Yeah.
They got upset
That's
against
fair
Dream
enough.
Eaters. They were up 15-5 though, and they came
Yeah.
back and brought it to OT. That's pretty impressive.
That's fair
pretty
enough.
good. And then they blew out everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking destroyed everyone.
Let's put it in and see if we
Yeah, and
change
see
our
if we
mind.
I'm like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know who I put
Yeah.
otherwise, because I still have. I think I have 8 names that I'm pretty set on.
So we have
So I think
G2, Vitality. Who else we got?
I vote G2.
Okay, out of the two French teams, G2.
I mean, potentially both.
G2 Vitality would probably be the two teams I'd add now.
it's gonna be G2 against Vitality in the 5th round.
That would be
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
I think so.
That
I
would
mean, like,
be so
it depends
good.
on the matches, like you say.
Yeah,
but
of course.
But I also see both the French team going through.
Okay.
But
makes
it depends on the matchup,
So
the
now-
matchups that's happening and all that.
We can go through the teams that we didn't pick.
What
to
do we
go
have through then? Just those
Yeah, let's
3?
go
through.
Just those
Okay.
3?
We
Oh,
have.
Energy and Mouseport we have
Oh,
through.
we didn't go.
Should we say the teams that aren't gonna make it? Like for sure.
Avangard,
Do you mean us?
MIBR.
I wouldn't be so sure about MIBR.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, the Renegades pick.
Renegades
For
403.
me, I actually have Renegades. Like if I did my own pickings, I put Renegades.
I would
You
not
put 'em in?
pick Renegades to
Through?
go.
You would think Renegades through.
I'm not
I don't
thinking
know.
of getting baited
Sell
by
us.
practice
We're not-
results.
we're not-
I
Wait.
know that.
Let him try and sell us.
I mean, like last major, they had a good run. No?
Yeah.
They've been boot camping hard before that, and they came in and showed a lot of new stuff. They were prepared. They were on fire. I think the same thing will happen here, and they're gonna take people off guard.
Dude,
I
we
think
saw
they
him at
just
that
lost.
last event.
They
That
just
was
lost
so
too
bad.
much.
So
They lost
ugly,
too much
Chad.
confidence by
He
my
can't
book.
convince me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's
Not
nothing he
convinced.
says
I might be
that will
totally
convince me.
wrong.
If he tells me like there's gonna be an update to some weapon or
Yeah,
something,
the org gets bumped again or something.
then I could buy. Or like they're playing
In my-
P90 all the
like
time.
I mean, it's my dark horse for this event.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
wait, who do we have so far?
We have Astralis, Liquid, Navi, NRG, Mouse Sports, and then we'd probably go for Vitality and G2. That's
Already the 7.
That's
So
seven,
seven.
yeah.
So go through all the other names and
We
let's
need one more.
go through. Just go one name at a time that we haven't picked.
That we haven't
Yeah,
picked.
from just go at the order. Of
I'm
the
gonna
top.
go from the top. Yeah. And we haven't
So
talked about.
Ents, we've just decided are a fringe team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ents can go in the pool of maybe a team we
Maybes,
put 3-0,
yeah,
right?
sure.
Like that could be one that we take.
Oh, we're doing that.
Well,
I don't.
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Do you think that
And
Ents
also
have a-
with what you said about the first two games that they have, that's a pretty good
But
start.
There's
They will
only
also,
two
like, if they
teams
get
that are going to
2-0,
go
they're
3-0,
gonna
right?
have enough
Yes.
confidence.
So if
Yes.
Ants go 3-0, that means that Astralis, Liquid, or Navi are going to like fuck up.
The
Uh,
teams are
I
left.
feel like Astralis or Liquid are guaranteed. One of them is guaranteed to go 3-0.
But
I feel like I'm. Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
Like for
And
me, I feel like Crazy could easily upset Liquid in best of one. They
That's
have
the
been
problem. That's
playing-
the problem we were talking about before. Like the Challenger versus Legends.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
Time
been
discussion
playing,
is
and they've been
so.
playing really good, and they're playing a lot, and they are like match form ready.
yeah,
Liquid
and they
have
have
been-
nothing to lose against Liquid. so-
Exactly. I think it is a match that can.
Astralis can't play
Basically
Liquid, by the
go.
way. Like, there's no scenario
No,
where
they
Astralis
can't.
plays
They
Liquid.
can't. They
Yeah.
can't meet in any scenario. Yeah.
So,
Unless there's like some shit like insane rematches in the last round or something, it can happen.
yeah.
so highly unlikely.
Yeah.
What about Face?
If they go, I'm sorry, if they, like in the 3-0.
Oh yeah, of course. No, they can't.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
I think they can't even like otherwise unless
Really?
like it's
Because
some
their
insane
elo is so
rematch.
close.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
seems like highly unlikely that it's almost impossible.
It's not
I
even
think
that.
Navi could play either one, like depending on team,
Yeah.
like who wins.
Yeah.
in certain
Yeah.
Which
cases.
order?
Yeah.
Okay. So do we want to upgrade one of
Ooh,
those
So yeah,
teams?
just what Sean said. If Ents beats Avantgarde and Crazy somehow upset Liquid, they play
Each other. No.
Renegades after that. If Renegades win against NRG, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not gonna happen.
okay.
They're playing
Tom just has
energy.
like all
Then
the
they're
upsets.
playing
He's
energy.
like, well, if Tree Meters beats
Some
us,
no, that's
Crazy
good.
beats
No,
Liquid.
just like it's.
But I'm looking at it like Liquid needs to lose like the first game potentially,
Well,
so
put
Ents
this- put
become the
Mouse Sports
second
against-
highest seed and
Yeah.
going to the 3-0.
Put
That's-
most sports
that's my
against
thinking.
FaZe right now because that's the
Well,
one that
I
you were
think-
talking about.
I think that if Ents are going to go through,
No,
it'll probably be in that 3-0
Jesus.
fashion because as they
Whatever,
lose,
I
as they
agree.
start to lose, it's going to get harder and harder. And they'll be more like, oh fuck, there's teams dead. Like when new roster, like that will start to sink in after every loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just say, well, I'll see if I can tell you guys. We would be happy to put Ents as 3-0 as a no. You'd prefer to pull one of the
That's literally
favorites.
throwing away.
I feel like it's the right move to do. If you want to correct, like most correct pickings, you put Ents in 3-0.
But they're not going to go through. They're not going to make the playoff.
No, but that's the point.
That's the point. Because you
You're
don't
not
get the point if you.
But that's
I understand the point. I don't like
I
it,
understand
though.
what you're
The
trying
problem
to
is
do.
like
Okay,
the problem is
yeah.
all of the 3-0s that we would ever consider are the legends. The legends.
Yeah,
space.
And
pushing
that's
out.
scary.
That's being a pussy. Fuck that. Just put in,
Yeah.
put in Liquid, put in Astralis, and stop being a pussy.
Well, you'd only put one. Which one would you put?
I put Liquid.
Liquid is going to lose
Well, let's do
round
this.
one. So round one, they lose to Crazy and we lose our.
That's
team.
it's probable, but especially with the style that Liquid plays CS, and that could play into Crazy's hands of like just aiming.
We've seen Liquid
I think-
lose a shit ton of best of ones, right? Even when
Yeah.
they're the best team in the world, they've always been struggling. Or been
what?
very close games. Even Avangard and Katowice, they played 16, 14
Look,
in game.
okay, but
I
you're
don't
talking
know,
about something
man.
that happened
Pro League-
last time 4 months
Pro
ago.
Look at Liquid's
Pro League-
last
Pro
3
League won
months
the
is
year.
just like
They
Pro League
lost
won
to
the
North
year.
one. They
all
lost
wins.
one best
That
of
was
one.
North
Cologne,
against
they
They lost
the
one best
opening
of
best
one
one.
in the
Cologne.
last 4 months.
Cologne, they lost
It's
their
even
best
rare
one.
they go
I don't know who
to
to, but they did.
There
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
that's true,
They've
okay.
done it 3 or 4 times already.
Like
Well,
for
Liquid.
me, if
And they're
we
coming
should
from a player
pick one
break.
of the like Jakob, Jacob said, is
Let's do a vote.
then you put Astralis, my opinion.
Okay, so Astralis or Liquid? Raise your hand for Astralis.
You
Well,
guys
I'm kind of on the fence.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not
too.
gonna
All
lie.
Where's the
right,
end
hold
screen?
up.
I want
Anyone
that.
got a coin?
The second map for Liquid when I did it was NRG.
Wait,
That's a
1 second.
dicey ass matchup.
Okay, let's put Astralis as number 1. I'll change my vote based on that to Astralis as number 1.
We're not going France?
No,
I don't think
Okay.
Liquid has owned energy though in the past.
I know, but I'm factoring in
Wait, who are you taking as
Astralis.
Astralis is 3.
The reason I'm factoring is because we're talking about the opening game. I think that the disparity between Astralis and Dream Eaters is much bigger than
I'm
the disparity
going
between Liquid and Crazy.
Much
I'm
bigger.
going Liquid.
So Liquid, who's for Liquid?
Raise your hand for Liquid.
It's like that's the thing. Like I would.
Okay, but
You're
look, it's a
picking the unknown
democracy here, ladies and gentlemen.
So,
So
okay, so
unfortunately,
let's go Astralis again.
Yeah,
Who
Astralis
are
is 3-0.
You two?
Okay,
Oh,
I'll go
3
for
now.
Astralis.
Four
Okay,
of
we're
us.
fucked.
Yeah, there you go.
We lost.
I literally
Doesn't
sold
matter.
you guys.
all right. So Astralis is a 3-0, and then we have to now put another team into the top 7,
Yes.
right? So who haven't we gone through? Let's keep going through the names.
Can we go for the O3? I think that's
Okay.
that's more of a easier decision.
But
Because that's
I don't
down
think
to
so.
Dream Eaters,
No.
Avant-Garde, Renegades,
MIBR.
MIBR, and then whatever. And
I kind of like
NIP.
Avant-Garde
Look,
the
if
most.
we put
in that
MIBR,
sense,
if we
but
put MIBR 0
North.
3,
I think
I
it's
think
gonna be one
Sean
of the
and I
legends.
might
North.
not go on the internet ever
I would
again.
put just one of the legends just because of the entire talk that we.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
saying like one of NIP, MIBR, or FaZe are gonna go out 03.
The problem is
But
that
then-
OC,
then I thought about Dream Eaters and
hard
Avant-Garde.
opponents all the fucking time because of the seeding.
Yeah.
So I think like it's safe to put them there.
But they can't. In the second round, they're not gonna meet anybody insane.
Let's say they're gonna
If there's
play
one
against
against
FaZe,
Yeah, they are.
like
Is
FaZe.
FaZe practice?
Oh, sure, if there's an
Yeah.
upset,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
They were
That's fair
boot
enough.
camping, allegedly.
I don't
For how
know.
long?
FaZe?
Okay.
Like 2 weeks in
Yeah.
Berlin or
Yeah,
something.
sold. FaZe.
Phase for the 7th spot.
No, I don't know about that yet.
Phase for 3-0. Oh, okay.
He's just going crazy.
Okay. The logical choice that we all know is the best team to put 0-3 would be Dream Eaters. They're
Yeah.
out of their depth in terms of experience.
We've said that before.
Yes, I know, but that's the logical choice.
Yes.
And they're starting 0-1 if you have a
No, I
shot.
think
If we
the
have a
logical.
Astralis
I think the
as
logical
What if we
choice would be
literally
to
lose
put
them
one of the worst teams as legends.
I
from
think
the legends.
North is going 03.
Just because of the
One of
entire
the worst
argument.
teams.
The more
Legends.
I play with the fuck.
Yeah, that's also what I was looking at.
Oh,
I
you
did
did
it
too? Yeah, I did also. That's why I feel like there is a legitimate chance North is going 0.
Actually, honestly,
But
honestly,
there's
I'd
also
go
a
for
chance they're going
Renegades.
3-0.
What?
Who? Because
go
they're
for
like the
Renegades
halfway.
03.
Because
No,
they're like in
yeah,
the middle of
Because
the pack,
if you play
basically.
with the calculator thing, I think like
If they go 3-0, that means they're going to have to beat Liquid Astralis or
No,
Navi in
03,
the
I
best of
think it
three.
means.
yeah, but that's also me factoring that I think one of them is going to fuck up.
Wait, who do you think's going 3-0?
Like I think like North could be 3-0 or 0-3. I don't think they're gonna do anything.
Because they're like, I understand the point, because they're like in the middle of the pack, so they're always going to play like not the best but not the worst opponents.
Yeah.
So they also always have like a good chance to win.
Who's their
or
opening
lose.
game?
Vitality.
So do we believe that Vitality have turned enough around in a day
I
that
think.
they're going to be North?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't North been
Kind of.
beating Vitality pretty consistent? It's always been close game.
No,
and-
been close games.
Look,
For
Red
Masters,
Bull.
they beat them. At Pro League, they beat them, I'm pretty sure. But
It was, I don't
they
know.
played a lot against each other, and it's always been very close. And North is looking way better now than the way when they're playing close. Way better.
Okay.
What would the best
I
of one
think it
not be?
depends so hard because the best of one, if Saiwu shows up, it's gonna be difficult. You know?
Good.
Why be trained?
Good
Train's gonna get
description.
banned.
It literally could. North are playing Dust 2 now, right?
Yeah, they are.
Can, but they don't want to.
Yeah, but not well.
But they're
not-
left,
it's not
it's
gonna-
gonna
They're not
be
going to play against Vitality now.
like
They're not gonna
Vitality
play.
and
That's
North. I think Vitality has the numbers there in the maps because like
Yeah.
North don't play vertical. They don't want to play Mirage. Yeah.
Good. You want to hear something? I just put team search Zaiwu. I wanted to check. I
All
wanted
right,
to check.
fuck it. Fuck it. Let's take a risk. We're going to take a risk somewhere. Let's put North 0-3. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Not Renegades?
I'm not liking it.
Anyone wants to,
I mean,
who
wants to
would
join the
put in
Renegades
What we got?
movement?
I like the Renegades movement, honestly.
Sean's got Dream
based on,
Eaters.
based on what I was saying about the worst legends, I'm on the Renegades train.
Dude, Dream Eaters has the worst seeding. They're going to play the best teams at every stage.
I know, but we're putting
There
them
will
0
be an
3.
upset. There will be an upset.
They even, yeah.
First round, there'll be an upset. They'll get fucked in the second round, and then they're 0-2, and it's
No, actually,
All right, let's
actually,
vote then.
I'm good for Dream Eaters.
All right, let's
Because
go.
if they,
Who's
if they
putting-
lose the first game, they're going to play Navi or G2, I think. Navi,
Yeah, looks like
yeah,
it. Yeah, could
most
be.
like
Well, probably not G2 because they're way too low.
it's going to be a
No,
Navi or
it's gonna
FaZe.
be
so
no,
that's
it's gonna
like-
be this. It's gonna
Yeah.
be this. Look, Vitality or North.
I'm for Dream Eaters.
All right, let's have a vote. Who votes Dream Eaters 0-3?
Oh, we've already.
I'll also vote for Renegade.
Yeah, fuck it, put it. I'm fine with it. Let's put it. Let's go it.
Watch, they're gonna beat Astralis and this whole
I just
just
want-
game blown up.
It's not so
everyone-
fun to put 3 meters there.
Everyone-
Oh, we're playing. Our trio is playing against O3, so that is.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So we were still missing the last team though.
Can we burn Astralis jerseys if they
Oh,
lose?
yeah.
They just got crushed right off the bat.
So we have one more.
Yeah, we have one team to go through.
Okay. So
We have like a
teams
decent
left.
choice.
ENCE, FaZe, MIBR, Renegades, NIP, North, Avantgarde, and Crazy.
Fuck, I forgot about Crazy.
Is there
I
anything we
don't
want to
know
take
why
out?
you guys are sleeping so much in FaZe. Like,
Yeah.
like you're not even
We don't even-
considering.
we don't
like,
know anything.
Like for me, it's so difficult to put them anywhere because they have not been looking good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like for a long
No.
time.
Sure.
And if they somehow revamp themselves, yeah, for sure they're gonna be there. But if not, I think they're gonna crash out.
Look, let's see. Let me just see again.
So
It's okay. So ENCE is
really
definitely like one of those
We
teams
also
that we
didn't
said like
discuss
eh,
NIP 403.
Is there any team we want to take out? There's a lot of fake
I
teams
think
in there.
I'd be up for
NIP
that.
play MIBR in the opening. That's
Yeah,
why I
that's
wouldn't
the worst
put either of them
thing.
0-3.
What
Yeah.
is?
You don't think G2 is gonna make it? Yeah, G2 is like a fringe team, huh?
I don't think so.
What about ENCE though? Like, do we have any sort of?
Well, ends we're basing off what Sean's saying. They're going to get
Yeah, I don't know
Worse
about
and
it.
worse.
easier
Okay.
matchups
I don't-
potentially.
Got
I
it.
don't think ENCE is like one of the top 8 teams, but based on the matchups that might come their way.
But I saw looks
But
like
that's
the
also what
second
we
match
talked
we
about,
actually
like,
got some
For them,
Some
if they go
fuck-
2-0,
some fucking
they
hard
have
one, like
momentum, they have
energy or something.
confidence. They could easily go like
Yeah,
third-
that was
third
one
match.
option. It was like energy too.
But it was like not even that many upsets though. Who knows?
All right, boys. Well, I don't want to put a timer on this, but we
Well,
have probably
basically-
about fucking 10 minutes.
Okay,
to
so
finish this
so
out.
what were the teams that we were kind of North? We were kind of considering, but we already no, we don't.
I would
So
not.
North-
say no.
ENCE are the FaZe, I guess we could put into like one of those.
I mean, you
teams.
can put Crazy in that as well.
And Crazy in that. I'd say
I think
those four teams
For me,
teams
yeah,
are the only choice.
Like I'm on the Crazy train.
There's no way.
I like that.
I'm also on the
Hey,
Crazy.
look,
train.
it's not going to be Avantgarde. It's not going to be an IP. It's not going to be MIBR. It's not. Well,
MIBR
then the rest-
always makes the playoffs.
But I don't know, man.
It's not good. They're
I
not
think
gonna
we
make the
cannot
playoffs.
also
I'm just
disregard
stating facts.
MIBR. Like I don't know.
It's
There is
not
some
gonna be
bad
MIBR.
All
things
right. Well, we
there.
can't.
It's
we
not gonna be
we
an
have to be
idea.
definitive because right now we're being very wishy-washy.
It's not going to be an
Yes.
IBR.
So
or
let's-
MIBR.
let's-
Let's not do that.
We're gonna have to make a gut call here on a couple. So
Okay.
we have two. We have one slot left to fill, but we could also move out Vitality or G2. I think the rest of them are
Do
pretty
we
much
have
locked.
G2 in there? Or
Yeah,
what do we do?
I think that's fine.
G2 is the one that I'm like.
Yeah.
the
I don't
most-
think
the
G2 is
most
gonna make
niche.
it.
Okay, let's do this. Who thinks that ENCE is more likely to get through than G2?
I'm gonna say no to that.
The
I'm
only
like-
reason, here's what I think is going to happen. I think ENCE, maybe even if they win their 2 opening best of 3s,
Yeah.
if they don't win their 2 opening best of 1s, if they don't win that best of 3, it's just that mentality thing I'm talking about. Like,
I just think that they just don't give it. They don't really give a shit. As long as they win one game, I think they will just be
Exactly.
pretty good.
so we're kind of split on that. So we're going to have to throw some things in here. So what about FaZe? Anyone think, let's go FaZe getting through.
Oh, they can definitely look
Instead of G2,
Well, we have one slot to fill still, so we're still trying to work out who that team is.
Let's figure out one
It's
team.
good.
That's
I have
we
no
can-
idea what to expect from them.
You don't think
I-
Janko's gonna have them prepared on like
They've been boot camping straight for 2 weeks now.
fucking hell?
This is the do or
But
die for them, and they know that.
Neo just get a kid.
Neo?
No.
Oh, did he?
No, it's Forest. You're thinking about.
Forrest
it.
just had a
I don't
baby.
think so. They've been boot camping straight for 2 weeks now. They know, Rain know, all of us know, like they're on the chopping block if they don't perform. This is a do or die time for FaZe. They cannot fail this one as well. I would be highly surprised if they don't make it.
So we're going to put FaZe over.
G2.
I'm
Yeah,
kind
but we
of.
still have one slot, so we can put
Sure.
FaZe in.
Okay. But you guys don't agree on it.
Just throw FaZe in. Let's throw FaZe in. Let's
Okay.
leave it there in the 7th one, and let's discuss these last couple, right? Because who are
Okay.
the other teams who are left?
Like for me, I would put Crazy over FaZe.
Crazy is definitely one that I'm kind of playing with right
Okay,
Yeah.
They
so
lost to North, who is a shit team.
let's talk about Crazy.
Which you, according
like-
to you guys.
now. I
right? had
like
them
how
go
he's
through-
just
Fair.
using everybody else's arguments against
Yeah,
them.
that's good. That's
Let's do this then.
For Crazy, the thing is that it's a completely different ball game because they don't have anything to lose now.
They just
they
scrim.
need one game to not go back to the minor.
Yeah.
That's all they need.
But their T sides is just scrimming, right? They have opening moves, but it's just scrimming. They don't have like once they get space, that's when Nexa decides I'm going to kill 3 people.
Yeah.
I can't bank Nexa killing 3 people every round.
I wasn't inspired by their T-side Inferno. In that
I
game.
wasn't inspired by the T side train.
Yeah.
Like they're just doing
They're
Evox smoke,
super
5 lane
skilled.
smoke, and go.
They're super skilled, but I don't think they're making it through that.
I think it's just based on the legends.
This is, like,
based on
super
too many
difficult.
legends being bad. I think Crazy will just go through.
You think?
I think there are too many
That's
teams
also
that
my
are.
opinion, because the seeding is really fucked up because of all these changes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this then. Who thinks that Crazy will get through over FaZe? Or who thinks that Crazy will get through over G2?
I think so.
I'd rather go
I
over
kinda
FaZe than
think so.
G2.
You'd rather go over FaZe than
Well,
G2?
yeah, that's kind of the thing. Yeah.
You're really on the FaZe train.
I'm
You're
kind of on the phase train.
You're on the FaZe train.
You're on the face.
You're on the Crazy. You three are on the Crazy train.
I'm definitely.
So that means I get the final vote.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Lucas, do a poll in chat right now. We'll let the viewers at home decide. We're either putting in G2, we're either putting in FaZe or Crazy,
Let's go, chat.
and then we're done. So let's see. Let's leave this vote open for a couple of minutes.
So we're leaving G2 in.
I think
Yeah.
look, if we can speak about we Renegades we knew good in practice, but otherwise Renegades look like shit, right? Like the last time we saw Renegades, they looked like the worst they've ever looked.
That was kind of weird though, because Grat just came in.
Yes.
No, wasn't just came in.
Well, he
had
was
like
there.
a month or so.
He came back for Dallas, right?
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem was they took time off because
Yeah.
let me tell all of you this.
Yeah, he told me this at blast.
They took time off because when Grat came back, the rest of them were burnt out as fuck because they were
Yeah,
still
I
all
heard about
playing
that too.
and they were playing with all different stand-ins.
But
So
that,
Grat
that was such a bad decision.
It
for the
was
a terrible
management.
decision.
in hindsight, it's a fucking awful decision. But they took time off, like a week and a half or whatever. Then they came back to playing again. Then they went to the event, and then they sucked, and then they went to the player break. Right now, they've had more.
Why'd they go to a player break if they just had a break?
I don't know, man. Australians, we're fucked in the head.
Well, they are not going through.
Okay, so Renegade's not going through.
No.
So the ENCE is the only one.
God bless if they do.
Look,
ENCE is the only one that we could say, and I think we just voted.
But I
for.
actually like your what you said also. They need one win and then they can just say fuck it.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of agree on that also. Maybe like for me, I don't see it good.
So
I don't know if to believe this, but there's a guy in the chat saying LXB said on his stream that he's been practicing straight with ends for 2 weeks.
There you go.
sure.
So it hasn't been with Sonny. They've been practicing with him for 2 weeks.
Oh, I thought you said they were playing with Sunny.
Well, they according to Instagram,
Well,
Sonny was sitting
there
next
was
to
a video
Aloe.
of
probably
like
been there, right,
them being
watching
in a
him.
lineup of PCs of Sunny playing right next to Aloe or something.
So
Who's this guy in chat?
what's his name?
What's his name?
I think
Is
he's
it
a
Finnish?
subscriber of mine, Avocado something. So I tend to believe it.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that guy.
avocados.
Sorry,
He said it
avocado,
on his
whatever
stream.
you are, whoever you are.
No,
Okay, so
avocado
we
something,
so
yeah.
that information right there, even though he has been playing for 2 weeks straight with them, do we still think that mentality is going to be different?
I'd get ends over
Why did we
FaZe,
just put FaZe?
saying.
Why did we
Let's
just
get
put
ends
FaZe
over
in there?
G2.
What?
Didn't we,
Let's
were we supposed to put Crazy instead of FaZe? in
No,
there?
we were voting in the
Oh,
chat.
we're
and
voting.
the
Yeah, we're
chat
voting.
is
This is like a fucking
Only
popularity.
idiots in chat,
This is a
obviously.
popularity
Of course it
contest.
is.
This is so.
But that's
FaZe
the thing.
60%.
And that's fine.
It takes it out
That's
of our
fine.
hands.
It's our hands.
Yeah, it's they decided. So
I
when
don't
they're
like.
wrong.
I don't like to
we
be
blame
like
them.
this pussy about this.
Okay, so this leaves the last one is between
very
G2 and
biblical,
ENCE.
washing our
There's
hands.
a lot of guys
Or
saying
Vitality and ENCE.
a lot of
This
guys
is
saying
such
that
a hard
they've
pick.
heard from his stream that he's been practicing with them for.
All right, here's what we do. We say fuck Vitality. They had a really shit thing. They
What
didn't.
the?
Hold up. Hold up.
We're literally just taking the
Hear me
foundation
out.
out now.
Hear me
Let's
out.
go.
Hear me out. Hear me out. We could take Vitality out, right? We take Vitality out. They didn't beat a single good team, right? What I'm
Facts.
basing them in the next stage off of is that they've already got that out of their system. But let's
You're
assume-
not gonna sell me on this. I'm gonna tell you
I
immediately.
don't agree with that.
Okay.
You're
then
not
we're
gonna
lost.
sell people
this
on
is
this.
it. This is this
Yes,
is what we're
I would rather
So
lock
who
it
do we
down.
have in?
So it's Astralis trio, Dream Meters 03. So first match, we lose everything. FaZe, Liquid, Navi, NRG, Mouse Sports, G2, Vitality. And can Lucas please switch like FaZe to last and Liquid to first,
Yeah, that'd be
Navi
nice.
to
So-
like OCD and all that.
That's
So who's out? Say who's
Who is out? ENCE, MIBR, Renegades, NIP, North, Avantgarde, and Crazy.
That's not that bad, really, considering
bad.
how stacked this is and how many good teams
Oh,
we
wait,
are.
how many
It's not
legends
that
do we
bad.
have
I can
through?
swallow that. Bro.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
I think it might be us going through.
Look, my pick is going to be
Shut up.
This is
Like for me, I also have some crazy feeling like something bullshit is gonna
Yeah.
happen. Like one
I
of
mean,
these
they did beat
Zeus is
G2.
gonna go off or something. I don't know.
They were not
They
looking
beat
bad in
G2
Chicago.
with Zeus.
Look,
Yeah,
this,
that's what I mean.
The historical matchup is there.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be the HLTV confirmed pick'em. You can do whatever you want in your own pick'ems. That's the cool thing about it. So we decided as a collective, the brain trust of 6 people plus some morons on Twitch chat, of how to decide who the teams are going to be. Now,
Where did all the positivity go?
Where did that go? Yeah, you're
that
so
one
happy.
cunt in chat before that spoke shit. I'm fucking anyway. we've been doing this now for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys all coming out here and doing this with us. It's been fantastic.
Only been 2 hours. I feel like
We've been here for like 4, right?
I feel like we've been here for 5 hours.
It's only been 2 hours, yeah. But we're gonna shut this shit down. We've done our pick'ems.
We're not gonna do the news because there's a bunch.
Don't worry about
it's
the
just
news.
like yeah and nay.
We'll do it. No,
Let's do it.
Alright, let's do
Okay,
it.
let's do it.
Damn, wanna go over, man.
It's not too much. It's not too much stuff. It's just 4 things.
It's all right.
And most of it is like people are not gonna.
The
Be.
girl didn't reply that I was gonna go on a date with anyway, so I don't eat Snickers. I hate nuts. Let's go.
Sunny rumors confirmed.
Yeah. Well, I think that
It's just I guess yay or nay.
Are they going to be better than before? Oh,
I'm kind of like
That's
too-
pushing out chat. You gotta
I'm
pick.
giving.
they're gonna be better than before. Okay.
They're like the number 3 team in the world.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, from that perspective, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, fuck it.
Next.
Next is Fnatic
Why did
new
we?
phase.
By the way, we all said that it was good, but they're not actually gonna be worse.
Yeah.
Because surely they're not gonna be as good as before. Like
in terms of
Yeah,
ranking,
yeah,
but why did we say that there was a good chance?
because they overperformed in the major ranking.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
let's go further.
Exactly.
Fnatic, Bench, Exist, and Twist.
It's about time.
I would
I guess,
say they should keep Twist, but
What?
Agree.
They
What?
should.
Agree.
I
How
would
is
do the
that
opposite.
fucking-
They need
how
a
is it-
change.
how is that a
I would do
thing?
the opposite. I know Exist calling has been critiqued for a very
Yeah.
long time, but Twist
I
is the
agree.
one who, when they get to quarterfinals, semifinals, he
Yes.
disappears. Like he's not there. You check the stats when he gets to those games, he's not there, right? And
he's still young now, though.
No, he's
dude,
not young.
I
He's
competed
24 or 5 and
Really?
been playing for
I
like 6 years.
competed
so.
against
He's been
him
playing since
back
the start.
in
It's just he hasn't been
2013.
involved in teams.
He's been in Fnatic for
actually,
four
yeah, that's the
two
game.
times.
He was in SK Gaming back in 2013. We played him at MSI Beta on Train. They had Modi in the team. He's been playing for that long.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So-
he's been in
Then
Fnatic
yeah,
before. as well.
I don't know why. It's probably Brolin I'm thinking about or something.
No,
Like,
generally people think he's young just
Yeah.
because he's kind of part of the younger generation.
Yeah.
He hasn't
Then
been in
I'll
NIT
say
and
yes.
Fnatic at the beginning.
It's too big of a challenge just to waste.
He's not wasted.
that's-
It's just
that's
they're
his
not having
issue.
him on Fnatic.
right, bro?
So then I'll give
so let's
critique
go.
to Exist for not facilitating. But let's move on.
So Swedish scene
Yeah.
continues to thrive. Ancient disband.
I feel like yeah.
Why they-
Really?
I mean,
After this major, there's going to be a Swedish shuffle anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that they're disbanded.
nah.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
It
Yeah,
is
I mean, it's sad.
It's just
I
sad.
felt like they were going somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pops gets taken and,
And
then
then
But
seems
I
like
think
these
something
major
more
rules
was
with
gonna
roster
happen
locks
after
don't really
that.
help the small teams.
it's funny that.
How did it happen?
I don't know. It's like
Because
the
Plopsky
teams.
can't play at the major and still his former team disbanded.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's strange how the teams with money can just take whatever players they want and
Yeah.
just ruin other teams.
Pretty much.
Seems like the rules
Doesn't
don't
even
apply to
matter.
the rich.
That's life.
Heroic signed Borough.
Sorry?
Heroic signed Borough.
Oh,
Instead
Instead of
of
NATO
in place of
Safix.
another suffix. Now,
A big yay. A
Yeah,
I
big
think
yay.
Borup
I'll
is a
say
talent.
Borg
Big
is
game.
really good, but
It's
I
really
like.
good.
I didn't like how they took the op from. What?
But they didn't take them off from him. He was just bad with it. That's what happened.
wait.
That is literally what happened.
Who, what?
NATO Suffix came in to be the op,
Yeah.
played
but
one or
they-
two events, didn't work out.
Wasn't
They
very
gave the
long.
op to.
But the way
Back
they
Vesetak.
utilized him was so poorly.
I think
Okay.
he was too nice. Like he came into that team.
Yeah.
That was a
He is
big
just
change
too
for him.
nice.
He
He's-
wanted to like facilitate himself in whatever
Exactly.
possible way, right?
And it
So-
hurted him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because he
So-
should just keep the up and go and get confidence.
Yeah.
Problem was he came in and he it's all new to him. Like he has to go in and perform and it can be difficult in the beginning, but if you don't trust him, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He tried to
It's
do
gonna
the
be
right
bad,
thing.
yeah.
It just ended up hurting him.
But I
Yeah.
do like Borg. He's really good.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
Borobot. So
Is it?
I've been coaching them for over a year. Or so.
Oh yeah.
But
You
still
have the.
Yeah.
Anyone use?
That's more or less
That's
it.
it.
That's
All right.
All right. What about if Golden joins Nip like after this event?
Full time?
That's
Nay
what
or
we were
nay?
think. That's what we were all thinking anyway. So
Why are you saying nay?
What?
I don't.
He's not sold on gold.
I'm not sold
Who
on
else
Golden.
are you gonna put in there? Who else are you gonna
Campus.
put in there?
If you're gonna say Exist, I'm leaving.
No,
right now.
we did this not long ago. We did one where we built like Dream Swedish
Yeah.
rosters.
Okay.
I don't remember what they were, but I think
don't
most of
remember
us had
mine.
Brolin and Crims. I think
Yeah.
most of the Brolin and Crims. And then it started to deviate from there. Like we definitely brought across Rez. I think most of us had Rez
Yeah.
as well. That was kind of like our trio, and then from there it was what you wanted.
I
Like
also
some of
had
us, some said
JW.
North, some said JW, some said like Hampusing game
Some had,
leading,
like,
some
Draken,
said Golden.
too.
Yeah, there
There's,
was
like, all kind of shit.
so many options. But I think that Rez, Brolin, and
I had Knock. Yeah.
Crims
I had-
as a
We had
trio.
Knock.
Yeah,
a lot.
Knock-
He's
knock for
he's
the
gonna
op.
be really good, I think.
I'm
The
sorry.
problem is like leadership in
Okay.
the Swedish team.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
also my point. Like they,
That's what we all kind of fell on. And
To me,
That's why we kind of need the return of Flasha.
that's why the Swedish player got
What the fuck? This is
Like,
stop pushing
It's
Flash Out
literally
Games Leader anymore.
Christianity, but just in CS.
It's a religion.
Everyone's just hoping he comes back and saves
Flush in the face.
saves Fnatic, FaZe, or whatever.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen though.
So
Like
the go-
we've seen that too many times.
Jesus or Flasha.
Whatever.
The goal,
Wow.
I think, as long as Swedish Counter-Strike has a shuffle after this major, we're good. Like, we'll get a good Swedish.
Watch NIP make
That,
something.
that never happened in the past, though. We always get shit.
That's true.
But like based on what Fnatic did just now, that they got rid of the two people that I think made by
But
far
there,
the most
then
sense.
there
I
were
think that's
rumors
good.
about Freiburg joining, and then
Yeah,
later they
JW said that.
There's no way that's gonna happen. I'm telling you 100%.
You
no
did,
way.
You did. There were rumors though.
Whatever. I
All
don't
right.
care. That's not happening.
Are there any more questions?
No.
I have to
not
go
bad.
speak to production. So,
Okay.
Cat's head's gonna turn into a pumpkin.
I think that's it.
Joe Rogan, shout out.
cool.
When are Striker and Prof getting
I'm
married?
cool. I've got lots of things. I
Can we get a
don't,
Can we get a smile?
I don't have enough hours in a day, man.
That's it.
All right. Well, are there any final words from Mouse Sports Camp before you go into battle tomorrow?
It was nice having you guys here, right? But
I think like we're gonna smash everyone, so it's gonna be fine.
Confidence. All right. Sean, what do you think? Who's going to win the whole thing?
You're gonna do this to me?
Yep. I'm going to do this to all these guys. I'm not going to do it to him because he was at Mouse Sports.
I really have to see how Astralis plays.
Okay. So it's either Astralis or Liquid.
Astralis or Liquid.
Okay. Jacob?
Navi, Dark Horse.
do you even have to ask?
Astralis.
Oh, Liquid. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Go
gonna
for
say
Navi.
Liquid.
Navi? Why the fuck
What?
not?
Why
I like
not?
it.
I like it.
Why
I like
not?
it.
I hate going. What do I have
I
to
could
lose?
definitely see Navi winning.
I'm going to go for Dream Eaters. And then on that button, okay, head over to, what is it, anchor.fm/HLTV to get the audio version of the podcast. I know you guys really love listening to it in the car while showering and taking shit. So you guys do the same. We're going to be back with a live show again. It's going to be a little bit better produced than this, even though it's worked out pretty good. Next week, in
I
one of the
think
off days, the 4th, so
The
that's
4th,
the
yeah.
Wednesday.
Last day before
That's the Wednesday. We're going to bring you another show. We'll go a little bit more in depth on things, and we'll see what we can bring you guys. We maybe have some guests for you. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for you guys for coming. Much appreciated. This has been fantastic. Goodbye, everybody, and be nice to your fellow Counter-Strike fans.
Think of our first place prize.
Yeah. Cheesecake.